May I have your attention? May I please have your attention? Super Sundays. Yeah, baby. We're back at it again. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Let's get it. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Sir Hill Speaks Super Sundays. I'm glad that you're here. I wanted to take a moment to tell you guys how much I appreciate you. We've been doing these shows for months now, and you guys have been showing up consistently as we take on and we tackle different challenges and different topics. So I appreciate you. But here's what we're trying to do going forward. We want to grow this audience to people who need to hear content like this. And so we need your help. How can you help us? That's a fantastic question. Be sure to make sure you hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe and make sure you hit that notification bell for all of the content that we have, particularly Super Sundays. All right, guys, sit back, relax, enjoy. Make sure you invite somebody to Sir Hill Speak Super Sundays. We're getting ready to go in. We're going to have a good time. Happy Sunday, everybody. Let's get to the show.
Go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast. Go deep, I OD on them. Apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500 degrees on them. 500 degrees. Go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast. Go deep, I OD on them. Apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500 degrees on them. Down, levitate, going up, elevate. Watch me demonstrate. On time, never late. I grind, celebrate. No pump, fake, hesitate. I've been scoring every day. Champagne, Perrier. Since 9-3, been in the box, now I'm stepping up tone. Like straight out the sandlot, now I'm plotting on the globe. I work hard, I show love, that karma steady growing. Got this far, I go hard, let God take control. I was starving skinny, now my weight up, got no energy for haters. See you trying, see you later. I'm shooting for the stars, need no laser beam, blowing like the greatest, but it's one who's always greater. Yo, go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast, go deep, I OD on them. Apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500 degrees on them. 500 degrees. Go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast, go deep, I OD on them. Apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500 degrees on them. Smile good, skin clear. This here my year. Hey, look up here. This here my tier. Same fit 4 days. I grind 4 ways. I play no games. All me, no blame. On the wave, my own wave. Can't stop my shine. In the lane, my own lane. Can't stop my grind. 40 yard in the V12 and like 1.5. At 19, I cleared 19 in a month, no lie. Oh God. I was starving skinny, now my weight up, got no energy for haters. See you trying, see you later. I'm shooting for the stars, need no laser beam, blowing like the greatest, but it's one who's always greater. Yo, go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast, go deep, I OD on them. Apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500 degrees on them. 500 degrees. Go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast, go deep, I OD on them. Apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500 degrees on them. 500 degrees.
Young niggas coming to you live from a place where nobody else know to take it. They hand out, they want us to split the pie, right? Cause they realize that we gone crazy. Yeah, I flipped my pie, really did that 180. Yeah. I flipped my pie, really did that 180. Young niggas coming to you live from a place where nobody else know to take it. They hand out, they want us to split the pie, right? Cause they realize that we gone crazy. Yeah, I flipped my pie, really did that 180. Yeah. I flipped my pie, really did that 180.
Who's that gon' tell me I can't do? Better be on time with my bankroll. Talk fat, no ball cat, no lit word. Routine like clockwork, my wrist word.
I flourish the cook, got no roof on it. I'm taunting, I'm all in the moment. Everything lit, I don't miss. Tell someone get John on the line, say the invoice is coming. I'm thumbing through stacks of that cold ball. If they egging me on, so I'm going off. I got 'em mad, I show off. They treating my life like it's no law. I never flex above my means. I spit the cream on my tribe, don't I? Don't bone me, don't know me, you not regime. To the one with the condom, my eye is on it. Yeah. I see you move through the place, they precaution, they snaking, they seeing me. Money tree, wake up the royalties. I got a queen, yeah, she go with me. She making me feel like I'm royalty. It's probably cause we royalty. I just got fresh with the golden piece, shrug, show the emoji, okay. You know it's me, diamond soul, dancing, singing like Jodeci. 10 out of 10 every time till they notice me. What you thought I was supposed to be. Ain't nobody close to me. Granted my hits touch the billboards, and they printing my face on the billboard. They envy my drip, I'm enlightened. You should let go of that hate, but you feel more. I make them rage every time they get flame when they hear what I say, coming straight from the source, yeah. I come a long way from the coast by the shore, my boy, I'm enjoying this. Young niggas coming to you live from a place where nobody else know to take it. They hand out, they want us to spit the pie, right? Cause they realize that we gone crazy. Yeah, I flip my pie, really did that 180. Yeah. I flip my pie, really did that 180.
Who's that gon' tell me I can't do? Better be on time with my bankroll. Talk fat, no ball, can't.
And now, your host, Sir Hill Speaks. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on with you? It's the one and the only Sir Hill Speaks in the building. Glad to see you guys tonight. How are you doing? What's going on to the amazing chat? Glad that you guys are here. We are in for a fantastic show. And I know that you guys came here looking good and smelling good because you wouldn't have come to a Sir Hill stream any other way. Good to see you guys here tonight. I'm glad that you guys are here. Before we get moved, listen, let me pause. Let me show some respect and some hospitality to the good people of the chat. You guys made time to be here, and I want to acknowledge you. So, Tarika Smith is in the building. Good to see you tonight. My guy Rush is in the building. Jill's Chocolate Boutique, De Sousa, Von Bryant, the one and the only Lady Hale. Oh, snaps. She's in the building. Bravo with Sheila, ladies, let's check. The one and the only I Excel is in the building. Mrs. She Said. Oh, she's in the building. What's going on with you guys? I see Kiara is here. I see Mr. He Said. Oh, he's in the building. I see Truth and Purpose is in the building. Guys, we got a packed house tonight, and we're going to have a fantastic time. I see Mrs. Paris is here. Good to see you tonight. Everybody's coming on in. Guys, be sure to like this stream on your way in. Be sure to share this out. We are really going to have a great show tonight. So thank you guys for a wonderful week. Our subscriptions are looking good. We are on our way to 4,000. We're not very far from that. So thank you guys so much. We're going to have a great show tonight. We got a great panel. And tonight what we're going to do is we're going to dig into, I think, something that's at the meat of all these relationship shows. We're going to dig into it tonight. People don't change, but we try to change them. All the complaints that women have about men and that men have about women, could this all be boiled down to the fact that we assume that people are going to change for us? And instead of accepting them at face value, we get with them hoping that they'll change. We know who they are, but we won't accept who they are. Is this the case? Well, tonight, everybody, we're going to have a great show. We're going to discuss it. And I've got a great panel that's going to help us to talk about these things tonight. Are you guys ready for a fantastic show? If you're ready for a fantastic show, y'all let me know in the chat. Say I'm ready. If you're ready, say I'm ready. Let's get it. All right, y'all, bringing up to the stage first, it's the one of the only, my brother, all the way from Memphis, the 5100 podcast. He's in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, CJ. Oh, he's in the building. What's up, my brother?
What up?
Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate you.
I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
Excellent. I see the tribe is in the building. Y'all know what time it is. They're taking over everything with their wisdom, with their graciousness, and with the love that they exhibit to one another. Ladies and gentlemen, show your love for the one and the only, the Harris tribe, Mr. and Mrs. He Said and She Said. Oh, they're in the building. They're in the building. What's going on, y'all?
Hello. Thank you for having us. Happy Sunday, everybody.
Absolutely good to see you. I think Tiandra's ready, but before we get to Tiandra, ladies and gentlemen, there's somebody who I met at Purple Pill Podcast here in Dallas, Texas. A fantastic woman into technology, sophisticated and smart, and she has a fresh perspective. The first time on Sir Health Speaks Super Sundays. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming for the first time the one and the only Miss Indy Harris. Oh, she's in the building. What's going on?
Hello. Can you all hear me?
Yep, loud and clearly. Yep, glad you're here. Good to see you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have probably seen her. She's been doing podcasts all over the place. Miss Tiandra is in the building, and she has a fresh perspective. Show your love, y'all. She's in the building. Miss Tiandra, welcome.
Hey, Andy. I'm glad to see Andy. I'm sorry.
Excellent.
Hello.
What's up?
All right, y'all. Miss Lucky Marie is in the building. I think somebody needs to mute. Miss Lucky Marie is in the building. We are glad to see her here tonight. We're still working a couple things out, but she is here. Y'all know she always brings it every single Super Sunday. Show your love for the one and the only Miss Lucky Marie. She's in the building. What's going on, Miss Lucky? All right, y'all. And you guys know what time it is. Lil Podcast is in the building. He's always dropping this Socratic wisdom every time that we have a conversation. Y'all show some love for a great content creator, my content creating brother, the one and the only I Sing Your Lil Podcast. Oh, he's in the building. This is the Socrates.
Look at that ass.
What's up, my brother?
What's going on, man? Just beautiful, gorgeous, and sexy as always.
Excellent, man. Good to see you. 2 minutes into the show, you already started. Listen, I'm glad to see you, bro. Good to see you, man. Guys, how's your week been?
Cool. That's all I can say.
Pretty good.
How about yourself, sir?
Okay, good. Week has been really good, really busy, really busy. You've been putting that work in, so nothing but gratitude and happiness. So good stuff. Thank you guys for asking. All right, guys. So normally I do have like a little clip that I play, but tonight I think it's going to be entertaining because you guys know we're going to make it entertaining. But right. I think we're going to be hitting on a little bit of philosophy in the way we see people. And so tonight's subject is people don't change. So before we move on, people don't change, but we try to change them. Let me go around asking everybody, do you believe that people change? Or do they become more of what they already are? Let's start with CJ, and then we'll go around.
Just a quick answer. People become more of who they are. That's what I believe, more than anything else.
So people
do you want me to
change.
break it down?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Well, I mean, for the most part, people can add things to themselves to make themselves better. Getting things like speech classes, tutoring, therapy. You can build on yourself, but I don't consider that change. And I think of that like as an enhancement or something like that. I don't really view it as changing who you are. People are always going to be who they are. They just become more of it over time, especially when it comes to money.
We get Harris Tribe. What you guys think about this?
Yes, I absolutely agree with him that people are who they are. You either enhance it or not.
So just so I'm clear, people don't change or they become they don't change. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a little different. I think people change. Only because I think we're never the same. Everyone gets a different version of us, from our brother to our friends to our co-workers, depending on who you are in contact with depends on what they get. So I think we're always changing. Some people think it's 50-50, some people think it's 100-100. But I think it's somewhere in between there, because we're always working on ourselves and we're always constantly changing. So I think you come with a certain percentage and you're always adding to it, trying to be a better person, trying to make better mistakes. And as long as you're doing that, I think we're always changing. Saying someone is the same kind of says that a person is pretty much put in a box, and that's one thing people hate is to be put in a box, to be kind of labeled before they get a chance to prove themselves. So, I respectfully just part ways a little bit on that.
Okay. What about you, podcast? Do people change or do they become more of what they already are?
Honestly, I think it's based on their age or stage in life. I think from the time you're probably about 16 to maybe about somewhere in your 30s, you probably become more of who you are. But I think the closer after, like, I would probably say 35, and then and there's still some caveats in there, your circumstances, situations, financial situation, love, life, all of those type of things, experiences too. But I just think in general, after 35, when you know, like, wow, I'm closer to 40, you know what I'm saying, than I am to 20 something ever again. And then when you get into your 40s, like now at 45, you realize how young 45 actually is, but you also realize how close to 50 it is. It's like all of these celebrities that I grew up watching, and when I hear about them or I read about them and I find out that they like 53, 52, 54, and it's like, wow, I thought they were so much more older than me, right? But I'm 5 years away from being in the same club they in. And I will be in my 50s when they're still in their 50s. You see what I'm saying? And so once you start getting around that age, I would say in general, past 35, I think that you start to change, but people can't make you change. You change. Now, you may use people as your motivation to change, but they can't make you do it.
Excellent. Andy, podcast makes some good points. What's your belief on this? Do people change or do they become more of what they already are? And someone asks in the comment for an example. I'll give you guys something real simple. Have you guys ever grew up around a bad kid? They just a bad kid.
Yes.
And do they stay? Is that who they stay? Or can that person really become something different?
I'm still bad.
So to kind of caveat off of what everyone else has kind of said, I think that it depends on experience. I feel like circumstances might happen. So like that kid might be that bad kid, but then they grow up and they might have severe, extreme consequences that are life altering, and it forces them to kind of change the nature of who they are. I think that innately socioeconomics plays a huge thing in why people are the way that they are, as well as upbringing, cultural, um, surroundings, everything like that. You're essentially taught what you're taught by the people around you. So, like they always say, like the 5 closest people to you, if you want to know how you are by nature, you look at those 5 close people around you and it will tell you who you are. So, I think that in order to change, you kind of have to like be conscious and aware and, self accountable and say like, okay, I'm going to be cognitive that this is naturally where I'm inclined to go, but I'm going to go against that and do this opposite. So it kind of like is almost like a self-awareness thing in order to be able to change what you might be more inclined to do by nature.
Excellent. Okay. Y'all deep tonight. All right, excellent. Tiandra, what's your perspective? Do people change? Like, do they really change or do they become more of what they already are?
Man, you kind of, it's kind of like when you say really, do they really change? It's kind of like, well, honestly, from my perspective, I think that people change because I have. Lord Jesus, I don't think that I am nowhere near the teenage me, the college me, man, not even the 20s me right now. I feel like people change through experience. I feel like now, if you still in the same mindset, you kind of stay in that mindset. Me being in Mississippi, I had a small mind mentality, meaning that no matter where I went, I was still like think that I was still in this box. I didn't know how to change. So a lot of people just don't change because they don't know how to change. They are around people that's doing the same thing. Like, you got the same friends. Sometimes, like when you just put yourself in a different environment, or man, I'm telling you, a heartbreak will change your ass so quick. A heartbreak, love, a divorce, things like that. That's gonna like make you want to be better. change. You gotta change. You want to change something about yourself. But I just feel like over time or with experience, with it can be, you know, death or anything can kind of drive you to, you know, something else. It can be change, good or bad. We didn't say change is the good change. It can be a bad change. So yeah.
That's why I was wondering, like, what did you mean by change too? Because that's why I look at most of it as adjustments or kind of fine tuning yourself. But change, when I hear change, I think like a 180.
Think about this. So I was gonna have a different thumbnail. You guys remember the show Family Matters? You guys remember when Urkel would go into the time machine and then he come up as Stefan Urkel? Completely different look, completely different persona. And what made me think about this is, you guys remember he was infatuated with Laura. I mean, he had the googly eyes. I mean, oh, Laura, did I do that? I mean, he was over the hills with her. And Laura didn't like him initially. But when he became Stefan Urkel, same person, now Amara liked him as he was, but it seemed like he had to change himself to get a different girl. So thinking about that, do you guys think that we change for the people we want to be with, or when we change, that was already in us? What do you guys think about that?
I think it's not the same for everybody, but you know, to speak in general, again, I would say most people, when you change, right, the person can be your motivation, but you're not really changing for them. The true change is based, there's a saying that real change only comes at the precipice. And what that saying means is that most people don't change until they're about to fall off the cliff. Right when they're on the edge and they're about to fall over, and then they realize, oh man, I got to do something about this, right? But I believe that even when you use someone else as your motivation to change, you're not changing for them. You're changing for yourself. It's a selfish act because you're changing for the outcome. Period. Like at the end of the day, there's nothing you can say. You're changing because you're worrying about the outcome. So your wife says, man, I am tired of you leaving the toilet seat up. Then you make a conscious effort to not leave the toilet seat up. Well, you're not doing that because you want to make your wife happy. You're doing that because you don't want to hear her mouth no more about the toilet seat. So, so you know what I'm saying? You making a change, but the change is mostly about you. Now, some people can argue like, you know, no, I know I did when a few years ago, I used to be on my lady's heels about everything. I actually apologized to her this like a night or two ago. I was watching a TV show, and the woman in the show was basically saying how, you know, the person made her feel like she could never do anything right. And I remember my woman saying that to me years ago, and I just apologized to her for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I haven't been doing this lately, but at the same time, I might not have ever apologized to you for it. And watching this show just made me recognize that in my own behavior. So I want to take a moment to apologize to you for it, right? And so, I mean, what ends up happening, I think, though, is you have to put some consideration into how you're treating the other person, right? So I was looking at my situation with my lady. I didn't want to cause any more stress on her body from what she was already going through. And so I chose to change my behavior at the time, right? That was, you could argue that was more of a selfless act, but it still was me worrying about the outcome. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I think that is the thing that brings about the most change and motivates us the most is the outcome.
Okay, anybody want to respond to that? That's a really good point. Anybody have a response for this?
Just again, back to like what I was saying about denying your natural nature. So like, depending on your upbringing, most of us are in survival mechanism. So like denying what's best for self in order for preservation in your relationship. So you have to deny what's natural for yourself, what might feel like is most natural for your survival or for your best good in order to make something work. So yeah, just denial of self and your natural nature.
Let me ask you guys a personal question. Let's get into the meat, y'all, because we done skirted the dance. Indy, Tiandra, Miss C said, you all the ladies, you've been in relationships. Have you felt the need to change for the man that you're with? So let's say maybe you weren't as outgoing, or you didn't like a certain something, but you adjusted for the man that you were with. Do you consider that change, or is that, to podcast point, is that an adjustment for what you're in?
Adjustment. I mean, because what you gonna do when you get to the next person? What you gotta change something again? You gotta keep adjusting yourself every time you. But that's an adjustment to me. I don't feel like it's a big change because 9 times out of 10, the real you still gonna come out. No matter how you try to adjust it. If you're not really truly trying to change something, like something major, that like an actual problem you had in a past relationship, and you go into a new relationship and be like, okay, it's a lot of things that I have changed about myself now than when I was in that relationship, because I was younger in that relationship with my kid's father. So it was a lot of things that I would never do again in a new relationship that I did before.
To me, changing it's just not real to me. Like I feel like it's more of an adjustment than anything, because this is my perspective. Like when I deal with a woman, I watch what she does when she's single, right? How she's moving when she's single, when I'm courting, before we even take each other serious. I'm looking at what she's doing beforehand, because yeah, she'll put on a camouflage jacket, you know what I'm saying, and stand next to a tree and blend into something. But when I want her to stop doing whatever it is, she might do it for a while, but the moment she gets tired of it, I become a controlling man. So I just would rather deal with the person from who they are from the jump, and look at what they're doing before they even get any type of physical connection with me. We just getting to know each other, and I go from there, because I feel like that change we talking about is not real.
I agree. I feel like how someone moves in their natural nature, that's who they are. So when they're by themselves, when they don't have anyone else that they're having to change for, or quote unquote like adapt or make adaptability, or like, and you always hear people when they get out of like long-term relationships, they're like, oh my gosh, I feel like I found myself again. Right? Because they were adapting, they were quote unquote changing for the relationship. And that change, like you said, wasn't real. It was just an adaptability to be in survival mode to that relationship, because they wanted that over, whatever was natural for their nature at that time.
Like
I turn off my gangster when I come here. You feel what I'm saying? So
I don't never turn off mine.
I turn it off.
I'm always on 10. But
before you go, Mom, I want to get Mrs. She Said as well, because I want to follow up to what you guys just said moments ago. Miss She Said, what was your perspective on this?
I had to turn my gangster off when I met my husband.
Right. That's my change. That's what
what
the change I'm talking about.
I think I agree with sister at the bottom to the left.
Indy.
It's a part of my, what you say?
Indy.
Indy. Okay, Indy. Yes. I think it was just the nature of me, and there was some adjusting that needed to be done. Of course, me wanting to share a life with the man I've chosen, and he selected me back. Little bad habits, cussing. Before I met him, I used to hang around with a lot of, guy friends, my brother's friends, so I had to cut them off quick. But that was all me. He never, demanded it. He didn't even know that that was my crew, but it was all self-reflection growing up. And by the time I was 20, I was very aware of what was okay and what was not okay. So regardless of me coming up in the street and bucking up to my brothers, my husband was definitely one man I wouldn't want to buck up to, or any man out in the street. It's a whole different thing. So yes, the change is needed, and I consider it more of an adjustment, because I've always been this person. It's just certain things I needed to adjust about myself, or grow, and learn better vocabulary and such.
Oh, now I'm really looking at it like, okay, maybe that is an adjustment, because I'm the same way, and that's something that I was thinking of it more of a change because now, like in that other relationship, I was still doing those same things, still rough around the edges, still cursing, still just being me and not being as compassionate. But now that, I'm dating new now, so it's like all the things that I did that was damaging, like I don't do those things anymore. Like I'm softer, like I ain't gonna lie, like being my mom passed at a young age and my dad and my brothers raised me. So I was raised by these OGs. So it's like I had to turn it. I was just always so like hard all the time. Like, cause they raised me to be this way. And I had to learn how to like shut up sometimes. And that was something like now in my relationships now, I don't do those things anymore. So maybe it is an adjustment, but to me, it's a big change for me because it's better. Like I see things better. I date better men now since I, don't come off like that in dating. So
you confusing me. You are confusing me. I don't understand.
So what I'm saying is,
no, wait. Let me explain why you're confusing me
okay.
because you might not know. First, you said you thought that it was more of an adjustment than a change, and now you're saying you think it's more of a change than an adjustment.
Change first. I said change first. When she just explained it, it made me look at maybe it wasn't a change. Maybe those were adjustments. In my mind, I always said change.
Okay.
I never said adjustment.
We'll bet $100 after the show. So this is what I want to do.
Hey,
now that's what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna put my cash up in the
there you go. That's what I'm talking about. I love money. But this is what I'm saying though. You did say a few seconds ago that you always on 100, that you never turn your gangster off. So I'm kind of figuring how those two things kind of go together. If you never turn your gangster off and you're always on 100, then how are you more soft spoken and this and that now?
Oh well, I'm like me. How can I say this?
You can start by telling the truth.
I'm an influencer. I'm a social media person. I'm an influencer. So what you see on platforms and this and that, that's just me and my personality. But when it comes down to like dating, like most men, they see me on social media and they take me out on a date. They be like, man, you is so different. You're not like what I thought you were. I thought you was just like this aggressive person, like when I'm going through debates and things like that. So when they really get to know me, they was like, girl, you so soft. I'm soft as hell. I'm not like this, like when it comes down to get to know someone, because everybody don't deserve every part of you.
Do you want to be married?
Me? Yeah.
I don't think you do, but okay. Let's need to hear that. Go ahead, sir.
Podcast, did she address your question?
She did. She did address the question. But I think there's something to it because of the fact that I don't think you're like right now, the way it sounds like you're not really serious about anybody, that you're just dating. And so that kind of makes it easy, right, to be softer. But it becomes a little bit different when it's the same person continuously every day.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I'm only dating one person.
Like, see, everything you said prior to this made it
like
seem like you was dating multiple
people. One person. I don't date multiples.
Okay.
No, I don't do that.
Okay, I want to pull this back because you said something, and I got to get the ladies. I need to hear what y'all think about this. But before we do this, salute to the Seattle Black veteran with the $10 super chat. He says, salute to Brother Sir Hill Speaks. Thank you so much, sir, for being here. We really appreciate you. I'm going to play the super chat song. We're going to drop the bass. And I got a question I need some answers on. We'll be right back right after this.
Super chat.
Okay, ladies. So this week I got a lot of shows coming this week, and I'm addressing some issues that I see with women. One of these particular things is in dealing with Layla Anthony. She was in a recent, a very short interview about life after being single after divorcing Carmelo Anthony, and she said something that I'm noticing a pattern with every woman who gets divorced is I'm focusing on God. I'm focused on my children. I'm focused on my own happiness, right? I notice these same kind of things. And so my question for all of you is this: what does a woman mean by when she breaks up, she's finding herself again? What exactly is she finding? And I really want your honest answers on this one.
Me too. Oh, yeah.
So just coming from being that I was like prior married, right? Sometimes as like women, again, the adjustment thing, like what he was saying is 110% like correct. Like, as far as like wearing a mask, I feel like everyone teaches you how to like, oh, okay, this is what you need to do to get a man. This is how you need to project yourself. This is how you need to present yourself to get the man. But what they don't teach you is about sustainability. So like authentically being yourself and in your natural feminine nature and sustaining that. So not like the facade of like, oh, self-care, blah, blah, blah. Like this is what being feminine looks like, but like authentically owning that. So like choosing every day to like, um, it's the same thing. I just saw something the other day about it. Like every single day, a woman that works a 9 to 5 submits to her boss, right? And because she doesn't want to get fired, she naturally submits to her boss. She doesn't change who she is or anything like that. She's not any less than who she is, but she's choosing to submit to that role or responsibility that she's chosen to be in while still being authentically who she is. So I think that being a wife nowadays is more of like almost like a mask. So like it's whatever someone has fed you or whatever someone has told you that this is what this looks like, rather than authentically owning what it means to be that. If that makes sense.
It does,
So,
ladies. Yep. Excellent stuff, ladies. Finding yourself.
I'll go. Hey, y'all.
What's going on, Lucky?
I would say, just to be honest, sometimes, a lot of the times, a relationship can take a lot out of you. So if you are going through a divorce and you have been in a season in your marriage where it can be strenuous, you're stressed out, you're depressed, things like that, when you start to be on your own and depart from that, because divorce is like, what is it supposed to be? A death, right? So when you experience something that you're mourning behind, you do need to reset and kind of focus on yourself and get yourself together. That could be rebuilding your self-esteem. That could mean rebuilding your mental health. That could be rebuilding yourself, restoring yourself and making yourself full again. Because sometimes you leave a relationship feeling empty. So that's what it means to find yourself. You should be looking for who you were prior to who the person is you look at now that you can't recognize.
Okay, I got a response for this, but I want to get some more people in here. Tiandra, Miss He said, Mr. He said. I mean, CJ, what do you guys think about this?
I ain't touching this one. I ain't touching this one.
I mean, I didn't feel like I really had too much to add to that because I never felt, that way. I've lived in this purpose. I knew I wanted children, so I knew I needed a husband to have said children. So I was very selective, and I chose a man that I can be comfortable with in my silliness, in my ugly, in my sickness, and, found that out prior to having a child, so I was in for the long haul. So when he let me know what he was going to need from me, throughout the time of vetting, I was willing to acquiesce because I chose him. I saw him first, like, yes, I believe in him. It's something, a man I'm willing to support. The first initial questions were great. So I'm like, yeah, I'm in line. How's this going to go? And it actually lasted 25 years. So I'm blessed to be able to, acquiesce to him and him to me as well. Only way I can say I needed something for myself at 30, I decided I wanted to go to school. So that was something that was just for me in the sense of finding myself, getting that education in early childhood instruction. So, but otherwise, I don't know what these ladies are talking about.
and I got a follow-up question for the fellas after Mr. He said.
I'm gonna jump in and just call respective cat, respective. Only because in the verbiage, all of the things that they say they're gonna do when they're quote unquote finding themselves, are all the things they could have been doing to keep their man. So, working on myself spiritually, going to the gym and reflecting on all of that stuff is exactly what you can do to keep a man. And they do that until they get the next man, and then they stop doing that. So I respectfully call cap because it doesn't have a definitive answer on what finding yourself and working on yourself is. And again, that's completely inward. That's selfish. You're working on yourself, but how does that benefit the world? When you leave the world, what does that dash represent? And when you ask a woman, a modern woman particularly, what do you do to make yourself great? What is it that affects other people? Their answer is always inward. Well, I'm being a good person. I'm speaking to people politely. I'm being nice and like that. No, that's called being honorable, being respectable, and being a human. But what are you doing that's selfless? And again, I never hear any selfless answers. All the answers are usually selfish.
Hold on. Hold on. Hey, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Excellent answer. So, fellas, let me ask you guys a question. What do you hear when you hear a woman says, I'm finding myself? what do men hear when you guys hear that?
I'll go last. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm sorry, but I did not answer the question.
Oh, sure. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So well, it was so crazy that we said this because I talked about beforehand when we talked about change, where I said that it was a lot of things that I know that I did in that relationship with me and my kid's father that was wrong, right? I did admit that. I took accountability for those things. But the reason why it didn't work out, that's a whole nother story. But I feel like when you leave a relationship and kids are involved, I feel like a woman just should not date. She most definitely need to kind of reevaluate the type of man to know that the men that you was attracting when you were single with no kids is going to be different now that you have kids, because most men don't want to take on another man's kids. And that's just what a lot of men say. So me, I just feel like you just shouldn't date until you know exactly what you want first. It's a lot of women just out here creating more babies, having more kids, having more kids, still not getting married after leaving a man and you have kids with him. I think a lot of women just do things just to do it. And I just feel like you really should find yourself. You really should evaluate what you want instead of keep going out here still making babies with men that don't want you.
Fellas,
So just sit down, take care of yourself, get some therapy, take care of your kids, make sure your kids straight. The relationship just didn't work. It just didn't work. Hey, just ain't no sense of dwelling on it. Just fix yourself.
fellas, what do you guys hear when you hear she's finding herself?
Can I add to what Sister said? I appreciate what she said and everything.
Please
I
do.
think when the women are trying to find out what they want, they must also look in deciding what they are willing to give, in order to get what they want. Because you have to give something. You have to really know what you are willing to give in order to get what you want. Because we can all want a whole bunch of things, but somebody on that other end, they're going to want something. So consider that.
Excellent. Anybody want to jump into this? What do
I
men
think
hear? Uh-huh.
I think that like the modern day woman, it's extremely difficult for us to wrap our brains around exactly what she just said, that not choosing, but like becoming a wife is you saying that it's not about what I'm going to be gaining, but how I'm going to be essentially like serving my husband for the greater good of our household. So like it's about being a part of a team. So like you have to essentially put the LeBron James to the side. It's not about you. You know what I mean? You're not the star player anymore. Now you're a part of your husband's team and his vision for your family and growing that. And I feel like because of the fact that as modern women, we're fed so much that like you don't need a man, you're going to be an independent woman, we lose sight of that servitude mindset.
Hold
And
on,
women now,
hold on, Indy. Now
yeah.
I don't allow profanity on the network. We don't do cussing over here. You said servitude. We don't do profanity over here. I think you're right with what you're saying, but it's something that I don't hear very much of that. When you say servitude, break that down a little bit more to me. What does that look like?
So when I say that, essentially, so like for me, I grew up with my grandmother. So like I grew up in a different era of women. The example that I had for like marriage and how a woman carries herself and the way that her role and responsibility in the household looks completely different than a modern day woman. So when I say servitude, I mean like, um, knowing that you have the capability to quote unquote choose something differently, but submitting yourself to your husband. And when I say submitting, that means that like when he tells you something, you're not sitting up here arguing back and forth with him. You trust the man that you're with to completely, in the full capacity, lead your household. So you have to be willing to like lay your pride, your thoughts, your judgment, and you can feed that to him. And a good man is going to listen to you. He's going to want your input, and he's going to want your side of things or whatever it may be, but just ultimately trusting the man that you're with to lead you, and being ready to be on a team. So like if someone has a project going on at work and you're like, I'll do whatever it takes to make sure that we see this project through to the end. We don't give that same kind of effort in a household.
Hold on a second. Now I heard the feminists screaming as you were talking, but I saw some gentlemen.
Oh my God!
But the fellas were excited about what you said. So you said 3 words, but I'm going to get back to what you said: servitude, submission, and laying down pride. I think we could all agree that we see this in the culture, the climate today. But before we go on, I got to get my guys' response. When you guys hear a woman say, I'm finding myself, what goes through your head?
All right, let me just go ahead because I know I had to check my subscribers to see how many I had so that I would know how many I'm about to lose with what I'm about to say right now. First of all, to the young lady who was just speaking, I want you to know that you have officially lost your feminism card. When you go into Target tomorrow, they might not let you in, just so you know. I just want you to be aware that you're right. You might have to start shopping at Walmart from now on. But bro, if I'm being honest, bro, when I hear that, I just hear whore. You know, I just hear I hear whore, I hear revenge sex. You know, I hear I can do what a man can do. I'm gonna go do whatever men do, and men can do it, so can I. And that's all I hear. I just I'm about to get my slut walk on.
Ladies and gentlemen, this show just took a turn. Express Yourself podcast. Express yourself.
I've never seen a woman actually like lose a relationship and then change.
Can I tell you from a perspective of like being married, when I got back with my single friends who had never been married ever, I'm just going to be completely candid here. That was the first thing they were like jumping towards. Oh, you're single now. Oh, you a city girl. Let's get on this bandwagon of like, let's go out, let's do this, let's do that. Instead of saying like, okay, what you said about like focusing on yourself, get in therapy, you know, really heal yourself. My single friends who have been single weren't telling me those things. They were telling me exactly what you said. Like, oh, okay, the best get back is to, you know, show him that, you know what he lost out on. Get in another man's face, do this, and that. The smart thing would have been to try to like work on myself, improve, you know, that's the smart thing to do. But the reality of the situation of what is fed to women, what's fed to us is like, oh, okay, you're single now. Let's go see how the other side is living now.
So the reason why that's the case is because in general, women don't actually ever believe that anything is wrong with them.
Accountability.
They don't believe that they're the reason why those relationships didn't work out. They
But
never
social
think
media
that.
tells you, like social
Well,
media.
hold on, my son. I know light skin privilege and all, but let the melanated brother rock for a second. The again,
Petty.
the thing is, I am, bro. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm feeling real gorgeous. The thing is that again, most women don't ever think that they're the reason why their relationships don't work out. And even the things that they think are wrong with them, they don't think that should be a defining mechanism in the relationship, right? So whatever it is, that's why they say things like "accept me for who I am." They literally had a song where it said that, "Don't make me over now that you know how I adore you," right? In the song, she said, "Accept me for what I am. Accept me for all the things that I do."
Hold on a second, podcast editors. Clip podcast singing for this week. I'm gonna drop this video. Go ahead, podcast.
But no, that's just the reality of it, is that in general, before anybody wants to try to, no, that's not true. Well, yeah, it is, because we've literally seen now, we have thousands and thousands and thousands of interviews of women, and the majority of them always say the same thing. The relationship messed up because of the dude. The dude wasn't this, and the dude wasn't that, and the dude was abusive, and the dude was violent, and the dude didn't have money, and the dude. You rarely ever hear them say, you know what? I was unappreciative. I was toxic. I put my friends over my man. I wasn't being a proper mother. I wasn't being a proper wife. I wasn't being a proper girlfriend. I didn't know how to cook. My feet stank. You know what I'm saying? I wore too much weed. You never hear women taking accountability for relationships ending. And so because of that, when they say things like "I'm working on myself," to me, what they literally means is I'm finding other men to tell me that I'm okay, and that is not nothing wrong with me. And that usually comes in the form of them having sex.
Well, when I hear that, all I hear is Casamigos, Mexican restaurants. You know what I'm saying? That's really all I hear, because more times than not, bro. When I see that, I follow people I know on my Instagram and Facebook and all that, and like I know how the chick get down. So it's like, oh yeah, he just cheated on you again, and you just mad. You're gonna be mad for about a week, and then you're gonna go back to him because he laid that good wood down. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I didn't heard that so many times, and like they never go to therapy. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't. You know, they go to the nail shop, but they don't go to therapy. You feel what I'm saying? They ain't doing nothing to actually better inside. They'll get a new quick weave or something, or a new lace front or something. You know what I'm saying? But they ain't really doing nothing to be better. So when they say that, that's just code word for yeah, I need some new Johnson, or I'm just mad at the Johnson that I got.
Johnson. Well, listen, let me do this, guys. So, do you guys think that it's an excuse for finding herself? Because I'm gonna tell you what I believe. Some of this stuff, when I hear it, I'm like, if you would have just did that when you were there, if you would have did that stuff there, you probably would have still been with somebody. Do you guys agree with that? Do you see that as well?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
the word.
Yes, it depends on the person, though, because honestly, I'm telling you, when a woman starts to make changes to herself, she's probably typically blaming the man for that. So it's like, I got to change this and I got to change that, and it's because I'm with you, right? It's sometimes that saying that sometimes you have to lose something in order to appreciate it, that applies to everybody, true. But I think that applies to women more when we're talking about relationships, because we can see by the numbers that women leave relationships more than men. Men tend to be more loyal, which does not include having sex with somebody else. That's not a determination of whether or not a man is loyal. So
I agree.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we see who leaves the relationships. And that's what I'm saying. Whenever there's an issue in the relationship in general, the women don't think that it's anything they're doing, or that they're wrong, or whatever, or that there's no accountability for them. And so that's why, to what you just said, Sohail, in these relationships, what you typically find is that when a woman is forced to change, she probably still leaves the relationship. she's going to feel like I have to change because you're not this or that. I wouldn't even be displaying this behavior that I need to change if you would just create an environment for me to rest in my femininity. Get the fuck. I don't be want to hear that bullshit. You have an environment to rest in your femininity. It's called Earth.
Ladies, do you want? Welcome, Freezy.
I'm resting in my
Welcome,
masculinity.
I mean,
I'm resting in my masculinity right now.
Hold on, guys. 1 second. Welcome, Freezy. Welcome, Desto. Thank you guys for being here. Glad to see you guys. Now it looks like Tiandre has a response to what podcast says, but I heard facts.
What he's saying is true. Like a man won't leave, but like that don't mean like he doing what he's fucking supposed to do. He might be taking care of the house. He might be doing anything, but even if a man cheat, he ain't gonna leave home. Yeah, a woman gonna leave first.
I can't wait to cook. Oh, I can't wait to cook.
You know what I'm saying? A woman gonna leave first. Those just hardcore facts. Like a man would not leave his house.
Why the
first.
woman gonna leave first? I want you to explain that.
Why?
Yeah.
Being honest, on some real shit, somebody might be in her ear. Another dude might be in her ear telling her, man, your man ain't shit, man. You need to, he cheating on you. He doing this and that. That's why, I mean, I'm just keeping it real. Most of the time it be somebody in their ear telling them, look, hey, he ain't doing this at home. But 9 times out of 10, like a man is not gonna leave. He can cheat 1,000 times. He's still gonna go home.
Especially if he got caught cheating. Like if he got caught cheating, the dude she talked to on the side of her, male friend, if she tell him, "Oh, my boy gonna slide in there for the win,"
he finna slide in there. Like that's just facts. Like, I mean, women, most women when they vulnerable like that, and when they're not happy at home, man, anybody can slide through. Honestly.
And then he's still not gonna be with you.
No, he ain't. He ain't gonna be with you. He's not gonna be with you. They know that. Trust me. They might be in denial, but trust me, they know that the grass is not greener. The man is not gonna take care of her.
Oh, let me say this: not all. Let me say.
No, we don't make those arguments.
Not all.
We don't make those arguments over here.
Like he know nothing, man. Them side dudes is only good for some dick, man. I'm just keeping it real.
51%.
That is exactly their job, and they're happy about it. See, that's the difference between the sad dudes and the sad chicks, because the sad chicks often are not happy about their jobs, particularly because more often than not, they're not getting paid for it.
But I just don't understand why a side chick so faithful. That I talked about that on my TikTok, and it was like, man, the answers was amazing. Side chicks are so loyal to a man that's not theirs, and it's so sad. Like, they are more faithful than a woman in the house.
Wait.
It's the same reason they loyal to their jobs.
What do you mean by that? Side chicks are loyal to a man that's not theirs. What do you mean by that?
Like a side chick, they'll sit at home and wait for that man to come from his family house. She ain't gonna talk to nobody. She ain't gonna do nothing. This side chick is faithful. Mm-hmm. She ain't gonna talk to nobody. She's in love with somebody else, man.
Well, see,
it's the same reason why they loyal to their jobs. They don't own them. They don't have any responsibility. All they got to do is show up, punch a clock, do a little bit of work, and go home.
Side chicks understand the competition, right? They're trying to win, which is this is an art that wives or girlfriends that have been chosen already, they lose that competition or the need to keep themselves up or to keep themselves in play for the man that they're actually with. But the side chicks understand the competition of it, and I think that's an important thing that wives should never lose. Listen, there's always in I'm going to be fair. Men should feel the same way about their women as well. There's always going to be somebody else checking your significant other out. Don't stop going to the gym. Don't stop, eating right. Don't stop trying to be your best self. And Sir Hell, you said something profound earlier when you said when women say, why do women say they're working on themselves after they get out of a relationship? Why don't they do that within the relationship? Because let me tell you something. This used to be a thing back in the day. When a woman leaves a man, all of a sudden she gets saved and go to, Sir Hell, I know you know it. They go to church, they get saved, and they start paying their tithes on time. They go to the front of the altar and start crying and stuff. They working on themselves. And I'm like, damn, why you wait to do all this after everything is, over with? I just get confused. I don't know.
That's a good question. Why do ladies?
But we know
ladies. Why? Why do you do this? It'd be the craziest, and y'all be thinking y'all proving a point. You're like, I did I wish he had me back. No, I wish you did that when we was together. Now I moved on. Why do ladies?
So hell, we know why. Because at the end of the day, the object is to always have a man's covering. The object is the man is supposed to always save me. So I can't get a real man to save me. I'm gonna get this fictional character to save me, right? I'm gonna go to church and I'll let this Jesus guy, because there's no accountability. The preachers in church don't ever teach accountability for me. And when they do, they know what they get called controversial, right? You know them by their name because they get called controversial preacher. But this controversial preacher said that women should be sleeping around and women should not be doing this and women should not be doing that, and they get called controversial.
Podcast, I think the feminists are messing with your internet connection. Just breaking up just a little bit.
Oh, yeah, probably. What about now? Am I still breaking up?
It's going to take a little bit for it to catch up. I think you're okay. Yeah.
Let me see.
So ladies,
how about now?
Yeah, you sound good. You sound perfect.
Okay.
Ladies, let's dig into this. Why do so many women wait until after a breakup to find Jesus? Why do they wait for that? Why do they wait to get better and to think better and to want to read? Why does this happen so much? Why not do it in the relationship you're in now?
Well, I mean, it just depends on is this relationship is worth fighting for. Like some relationships just aren't worth fighting for. Like with my kid's father, like we had a house and things like that. Like he didn't even do the things that I'm put like this. If I gotta call my daddy to cut the grass, if I gotta call my daddy to do something for me in that house, it's like he wasn't ready to handle those responsibilities.
Did he have a job?
Yeah, he had a job, and
so why y'all didn't pay somebody to cut the grass?
Why he could? I'm working too. Like why he couldn't? You should ask him that question. Like it was just sad. Like man, well, like I don't even want to get too into it, but he was young. We was young. We met in college. It was just a lot of stuff that we just really outgrew each other. We didn't leave. It wasn't bad. It wasn't like a real bad breakup or nothing like that. But it was just some things that, you know, it's like we've just outgrown each other. Like I would just tell him, like, look, my dad had to come and put the kids' bed together. Like, look crazy little stuff that I don't have to do that. That's not a man's job to take out the trash. It's not a man's job to do this and that. Like what?
How do you get a baby?
Do you live alone right now?
Huh?
Thank you.
Do you live alone right now?
Do I live alone now? Yeah, I moved.
Yeah.
Well, I live in Texas.
Just really quickly. Who takes out your trash?
Who takes out my trash valet? I just sit it right out there.
Shout out to Trash Valet.
Hey, what's up, Trash
I
Valet?
think we know where we're going though. So I want to get. Right. I really want to hear this from the ladies.
It wasn't about the trash. I'm gonna put it like this.
I'm not gonna let you. I'm not gonna let you. I'm not gonna let you tell that black man that way. He was black, wasn't he?
No. You look. Let me tell you something. It wasn't even. It wasn't about just the trash. It was about like, damn. You want me? I'm doing everything. You ain't got to worry about your clothes being nasty. You ain't got to worry about the kids. Kids straight. I'm working. We both working. We doing what shit. We do.
That's God.
That was the problem right there.
That's God right there.
Don't put God in it.
Y'all don't get my stream demonetized, y'all. Don't keep God out of this.
That's exactly what we trying to tell y'all, to stop putting God in this. Every time y'all break up, y'all want to put God in.
So were you cooking? You was cooking and
I was
cleaning
cooking.
on the regular and all that?
I was doing all those things. Like it was like the stuff that man
was he taking the trash out before y'all had a baby? Or I'm just curious.
Hold on, y'all. We get away from the actual question.
I'm sorry.
I want to know, why do women wait until they end the relationship to do all the things that they should have done that could have made the relationship work?
They start.
Hey, Sir Hill, don't forget, Lucky had a question too.
Sir Hill, they get gym memberships and all kind of stuff. They joined what is called what's that diet thing called?
Freezy, no, they're not. They're not going.
Oh, why did y'all
get got him in? You didn't got him in. Goddamn.
No, they're not.
So I want to ask
hey guys, one mic, but I got to get the ladies in here first, and then the fella's going to respond as well.
Well, like I can't answer that because it was opposite for me. When I was in college, I was like 150 or whatever. I had kids. I gained weight. I was almost 300 some pounds, right? So yes, so I lost weight. I lost weight, right? And he started to like downplay me because I had lost the weight back. So I had got back to like 170, 180. So, you know, he was like, you too skinny. You this and that. It was like, he didn't want me to, like, I was a teacher at the time. So you around me, it got so bad. He would
Nope,
cane on me
nope,
because I was
nope,
going to the
nope,
gym.
Jesus is
nope.
the
Let me tell
strength
you
of
what
my
this was.
life.
Let me tell you what this was. And without me talking to you, Tandra, and you know I know what I'm talking about. You knew you was extra fine. You was wearing clothes that fit a certain way, and the way that you projected yourself, and y'all being young, he was insecure because he didn't know how to take all that. Tell me I'm lying.
You ain't lying. That's what I'm asking, man.
Yes, that's what happened.
Man,
Because
he
like,
wasn't
he was
insecure.
like,
That's
he
not
would get
insecurity.
He
Oh
would
my
get
God.
so look, if it's not insecurity, I'll take that. But I'm just saying, he was like, it was worse. Like that I lost the weight and I put in that work. He seeing me going to the gym. He seeing me doing these things. And it was like, why you going to the gym? What you going to the gym for? You too skinny now. You need to you looking like you just about to die and like doing all that stuff, trying to lower my self-esteem.
Did you lose your booty? I'm just asking.
Nah, it ain't gonna ever go nowhere.
So
okay.
So immediately, this is what we want to do. Immediately, we want to say he was insecure, right?
that make me
That's
insecure.
immediately what.
Yo, I'm taking CJ to HR. We'll be right back after this.
Immediately, what we want to do is we want to say the guy was insecure, right? But here's what we know for sure: we know that this woman is country. We know that she curses a lot. We know she already acknowledged that she was aggressive, right? Okay. She gained, not only that, we know she didn't value and appreciate the man, because all she's done so far is talked about what he didn't do, right? So we know all of these things were in play. You literally, I'm not even saying nothing that you haven't said already.
I had to work on the beginning when I talked about change. Come on, man.
I just acknowledged those things. That's what I just said.
To the whole damn show. Why you playing?
Stop it. See what I'm saying? So now, okay, don't worry about it. You got it. You were the perfect woman.
No, I didn't. That's what I'm saying. I said
it's all good.
At the beginning of the show.
Hold on.
Okay, then. So therefore, wait. So stop. So therefore, he wasn't insecure. He knew what he was dealing with. That's what I'm saying. I hate when we do this with men. Like, if you have a body type a certain way, and then you're walking outside to accentuate all of your body parts, singling to other men, hey, look at these body parts of mine as if I'm single. And then when a man don't like that, we say he's insecure. No, he cannot trust you because you don't move like a trustworthy person. That's what that is.
So I'm walking outside half naked, basically. I'm a teacher.
I didn't even say half naked. You don't have to be half naked.
At a school when I'm
You don't have to be half naked. I can literally show you a picture that people were complaining about the way this teacher was dressed. She was fully clothed. She was fully clothed. She didn't have a cleavage showing. She didn't have no skin showing except for her calves. But it didn't make a difference because everything she wore was skin tight, wrapped and clinging to her body, as if you can't not ever do that.
Every woman is how women entertain other niggas when they with their man. Stop. You can't. Don't you? You know it's how you post pictures on social media when it's a lot of women have men and they still need validation from other men. You can't call me on that because I did not say that.
So let me jump in there really quickly, and then I'm gonna get lucky in here.
It's how you present yourself.
Yeah. So let me get in here and then get lucky in. So young men who are not used to it, they will be insecure. Men who are used to having nice looking ladies, it's just different. So it would depend. We'd have to ask a lot more questions, but men can be insecure, particularly if they feel like their woman looks better. You know, she's a better looking woman than he is a guy. That just is what it is. When you get older, you no longer have that. You no longer feel that way because beauty is. You understand how life works, and beauty is not everything. So, but Lucky had a question. I want to get to your question, and we can circle back. Lucky, what was your question?
Thank you. I have a question about what I just heard, but I'm gonna skip over that. But I wanted to know how the conversation just kind of played out. Are we implying that women are the only ones that have experienced a relationship where the other partner, like I heard what the Harris tribe said. I think you just said something along the line, correct me. It implied as if she had did those things in a relationship, the relationship would have stayed. That's assuming that the man was still willing to try. So is the implication tonight that when the relationship or divorce happens or anything like that, women are the only ones that have to find themselves in a way. If it said like when you see men leave a relationship, sometimes they have to do whatever it takes to gain their confidence back. Or are we just only focusing on when the women say they find themselves? That's bullshit. That means that they ready to be hoes in general, not the actual meaning of finding yourself.
More times than
Yeah,
not,
we
in
only
my
focusing
opinion.
on the women. Yeah, we're only focusing on the women. We're not doing whataboutism. The question was about women.
I didn't know.
No, but that's a very valid question. So
Specifically talking to one point that was made.
it's a very valid question. What do you guys think about this? Do men have to do work as well?
Yep.
No.
I gotta work. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sure they do, but I don't think they promote it as much as women do. I don't think it's the same. Men are not running around talking about, the same way women are.
Y'all
Women
might
are
have
the
to
ones
change
who
your
say,
mic
I
input.
gotta go find myself or fix myself or,
Yeah, I think so too.
switch up whatever. But we don't hear men do that. Men don't do that. Unless they do. I don't see.
Unless it's in a rap song.
That's what I'm saying. I think I understand now. It's the promotion of how it's being promoted, because I do hear all my life how men, when they leave relationship, you got songs like that. Chris Brown got them too. Deuces, all kind of shit. I'm on some other shit. These hoes ain't nothing. Like you hear that a lot. It's promoted differently. But I'm saying you hear both people in the sense say, I'm finding myself, or I'm getting back to who I am. This bitch, I gotta remind this bitch who I am, type of stuff. You hear that a lot that men say.
So let me jump in here. I think it's a little bit different.
Thing.
I'm sorry. So I think it's a little bit different. Most men who are really invested, when his effort feels like he's wasted, that breaks the guy. So he really is trying to repair himself so he don't take that damage and lose his own self-esteem and confidence. So a lot of men who've invested, women out here break up, I'd be asking for a really good, what's the reason you broke up? Like, what's the reason? And it'd be like this convoluted jumbo kind of, all kind of reason. It's never clear cut. So when women leave, to me, they leave for personal reasons related to their happiness. Men typically don't leave unless you were just a horrible woman, and then he's still thinking about it, right? So I think it's a little bit different. And you typically only hear men saying, I broke up, but hey, bro, I'm finding myself. You typically don't hear that.
So hell, you know what's ironic
Can I ask
to me?
another question since I've been quiet? I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's get podcast.
You know what's ironic to me is that women will say that men can't be faithful. They all dogs or they all cheat. But then the relationship is over, the man jumps to another woman. Well, he isn't taking the time to find himself. No, he's doing the exact same thing he was always doing, which is the point that we're trying to make now. If that's what we're going to argue, right? I'm not here to argue that all men are cheaters. Of course not. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I hate whataboutisms. It really makes me upset because it's unnecessary, right? So this is what I truly believe, bro. I truly believe that when relationships are over with, if the man was truly invested, he's way more broken. It's gonna tear him up for real. It's gonna, because he does not have this inflated. Most men don't have an inflated opinion of themselves. Life have taught them that they're average because most men are average. Most women are average. Not most women think they're average. And so that's why you see the difference when the relationships end, right? Most women can literally bounce from one relationship to the next. Most men don't have that privilege.
Podcast,
like
I'm
myself because I'm chocolate, so I can do that.
But babe, he doesn't represent all of us chocolate brothers. Podcast. Let me say something I've noticed, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. Most men in a relationship and they try to find another one. Most women have another relationship that they're swinging to as the other one is ending.
Yep.
Is that true?
That's a fact.
He said swinging.
but Sir Hill, let's call cap though. When most women say I'm finding myself, they really not, man. They just listen. First of all, why would you write that on Facebook for everybody to see if you're really finding yourself? Why would you write that on? Why would you do a YouTube short about finding yourself? Why would you do a
It's very
TikTok
surface level when they do. It's extremely shallow and extremely surface level. It's about what everyone else
perception. It's about a perception.
Exactly.
Because finding yourself for real, that shit nasty. That shit is not anything
It sure
cute,
is.
anything that you want anyone
real nasty, huh?
Thank you.
So I have a question for the guys.
You
Like,
stupid.
what does that mean? Like, if a guy, get out of a relationship and then they hop in another relationship, like, what does that mean?
We
Like,
gotta
Y'all
heal.
stop
We
it.
gotta heal.
Y'all stop it.
No,
Ain't no
and
man doing it. Listen, most men are not doing it. We'll have sex with somebody. Now, I'll give you that. We'll have sex. But jumping into a
Facts.
relationship, you know how much it takes a man to fall in love and to trust a woman? You wreck his heart. He might be in a relationship, but he'll never be open like that, like he was again.
That's
Because
what I
never.
was
Nope.
when men are
gonna say.
broken and when they love hard, it take a long time for men to heal.
I told when I was dating this one chick, she was telling me how I'm closed up to a degree, right? And I was like, basically, I'm giving you the best that I can. Like I look at it like emotional currency, bro. Like I just spent about $100 worth of love on this last joint, and it's just I'm
$100 worth of
I
love.
got 5 on it. I got 5 on it now.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, it's like therapy. I've done that. I've sat down and talked to my pastor about this type of stuff. It's not that I'm harboring resentment. It's just like I gave that. I don't have it no more. Like I never. It's like naive. I'm not that naive.
somebody echoing.
Yeah, I'm not that naive no more. Like I wasn't, because I was wide open and I just chose the wrong one. I'll never be that wide open again. Never.
See, I'm completely different though, because I've been in love at least 6 times in my life, maybe 7. Bro, women are amazing when they are amazing. Like when a woman is amazing, like especially when you're younger, because when you're younger, you ain't meeting them where they all bitter and broken and insecure about their bodies. You know what I'm saying? Like they moving and they looking forward to the future. And when you tell them stuff like, I love your face, I love your lips, I love your nose, I love your belly button, I love your kneecaps, I love the heel of your feet, they believe you.
Oh man, dang.
But this is what I'm saying. They believe you. They like, most men ain't talking to them like that. You know what I'm saying? Most men, it's like, yo, baby, yo. You know what I'm saying? But when
This
you come in,
2022, bro. The 2022.
kneecaps. Oh my God, kneecaps can be so amazing.
We don't
And
yo
so,
baby yo no more.
when you telling them all of these things that you really love about them when they're younger, they believe you. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I feel like what we might be talking about might be some older women. But when you're younger, it's like it's way easier to love women because they are so impressionable. And I know what that sounds like, but if you're not trying to manipulate them, then what difference does it make? Right? The only thing I was trying to manipulate was that they allowed me to love them the way I wanted to. I've been in love a lot of times. And even though I went through a lot of pain, I don't regret any of it. That experience has prepared me to be a mentor to other people at this point in my life, including my very own children. That's why they call me with their relationship issues and not their mamas, which you would think it would be the other way around. But they know how, invested I was in the relationships with their mom and my current relationships and other relationships before. I put women on a pedestal and I love them really hard. But that's exactly why when they fall off that pedestal, I hate them just as hard.
Dang. Well, shout out to everybody with nice kneecaps. Lucky, you had a question that you wanted to get through. Let's get Lucky's question, and then let's get Mr. He said. Freezy, Freezy, Indy, Desto, y'all jump in here as well. We're just having a little fun right now, and then we're gonna get to the meat of the question after this. Lucky, what was your question?
I'm sorry, I don't know your name next to me. But when she was talking, she had mentioned basically the man that she was living with was irresponsible, and it's like skate past that. And I wanted to ask podcast and CJ, because y'all kind of like was about to drill her, and I understand why. But what I want to know is, do we look over the fact that she just said he was irresponsible, but he automatically has the authority to dictate what she wears and things like that? Or is it don't matter, he's a man, he should be able to dictate what she wears or anything regarding how she moves if she's also taking care of his responsibility? Does that not matter at all?
I want to say I was not trying to drill you, ma'am. I just want to put that out there.
I would.
Okay.
I didn't say I wouldn't.
Like literally.
I know. Guys, let's keep it respectful. We can't take black. Hold on, CJ. Mr. He said, CJ, y'all keep it going. I need to take the guys to the HR room. We'll be right back right after this.
They really went to the HR room, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Amazing conversation. I think to Lucky's question, Lucky, I would just say I think the perfect gray area is selflessness and selfishness. I think that a lot of people, again, not to differentiate between men or women. I just think a lot of people refer to working on themselves in a selfish manner, in reading more books, and I'm going to the gym, and I'm gonna eat healthier, and I'm gonna time management more, and a lot of the things again that would just make us better people if we did them while we were in a relationship. And I think that that's what a relationship is for, to give us a sort of a bar or a mirror to measure ourselves against. And when we're trying to be, the best individual that we can be, and then our counterpart is doing the same, I think when we are two amazing individuals, we come together to be a collective, amazing couple. And I think if people looked at it, like that, in more of a selfless manner, and what can you do for somebody else? How can you leave an impression on the world instead of doing so many things for yourself and to yourself? Then I think that they would just have a better disposition on relationships.
But to answer Lucky, I'm sorry. My bad. Was you finna go, Miss? She said.
I was just gonna answer her question that she asked. I mean, with the man being irresponsible, I mean, somebody's gonna show you who they are. You are the person that's supposed to believe them. You don't have a baby by an irresponsible man. You don't buy a house with an irresponsible man. You
That
have
was
a
my
baby
only point.
with a man that get married first. This is why I say,
That's
try
why
not
I
to make it too
left.
personal, because I don't want to get
No,
into
I'm not doing
your
this.
situation, sister, respectfully. You know what I mean? But honestly, you don't move forward with a man that has showed you that he was irresponsible. So that was kind of bad on you. You
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying?
most
So some fault has to be on you. Some accountability has to be on you, and that's all the men are coming from.
yeah,
We lack
most
that. We kind of
definitely.
point the finger at the man all the time instead of saying, I could have chose better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I only
it's
asked the
like
question.
So
young.
like that was my thing. Like I
Yeah.
get that part, but let's say you accept it. Are we saying that said irresponsible man still should be given the authority to dictate how you do what you wear?
Yes,
If she gives him, if
yes,
she gives him the authority, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I gave him something. We met in college. We were young folks in love. We done had some kids. Hey, it is what it is, you know. And like, I'm a daddy's girl. I ain't gonna even trip. When it got to the point where my dad had to keep coming over and blah blah blah, my dad said, "Look, you my daughter. I'm just gonna let you know, this boy ain't ready to be the man that you want him to be. So you need to figure out what you want to do. But before so my dad was like, look, hey, it best to just let it go. And that's what I did. Like, it got to the point where, like, I just wasn't
Objection.
happy. He wasn't happy.
You had
That's
kids.
just
You
what
had kids
happened.
with him. You had kids with
Objection,
your
man.
dad.
Yeah,
Hold on, because
we was together. We was together for like 8 years. We were together for a long time, like through college, through everything. And
I'm sorry, I didn't want to
so
make this
Lucky.
such a
No,
like.
no, 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 no. You
oh,
didn't, Lucky. But I
no,
remember you
I ain't
specifically
getting them
saying.
everything. They can get some of it, but not all
I
of it.
remember you specific. I know because the part that you're gonna leave out is the part that's about you. So
Give
that's
up
why we
what?
can't get that.
I didn't leave out the
But
part about me.
but Lucky, you
Oh,
Man,
not
specifically.
you want some beef with me so
But
bad,
Lucky,
man.
I don't actually think you
Yes,
have
you
very.
do.
I
Yes,
don't.
you do.
I think you like to talk a lot, but I think you have
You
very
do
nice.
too.
I
You
think you
done
have
fell
very
in
nice.
love 8 times. You
I
like to
think you have
talk.
very nice palms. When you was adjusting your camera, I seen your palm, and your palm are very beautiful. But Lucky, I do
This
want to
nigga like
say,
these abstract body parts and shit.
Hold on, guys.
Lucky says she want to ask us a question.
Guys, some of these comments you're hearing
Right.
tonight, we've never heard these before. If you want more relationship advice, check out podcasts. Check out podcasts.
I like the web in between your fingers. They sexy.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Gotta like everything about it.
Kneecaps and palms.
That's a
Here's
Bible
the
verse, ain't
thing,
it?
though, right? To Lucky's question, the answer is yes. Like this is how this goes, right? I'm with this woman, and we're in a relationship. Let's say I'm with the young lady who is of the discussion right now, mommy. I think I don't want to call you that, but I'll figure out another way. M3. I'm gonna call you M3. So I'm with M3. She done had a couple babies. She done gained a bunch of weight. Her bunch of weight. Her sexual appetite does not go away. Am I supposed to still have sex with her? Yes or yes?
No!
So that's to Lucky. It's a yes or no question, so we can move forward in
You
the
said she
conversation.
gains weight and
She
your
gained a whole bunch of
her
weight.
sexual appetite doesn't go away.
She was almost 300 pounds, if not. her sexual appetite ain't gonna go away. She's still gonna want to be touched and made love to and all of that. Am I still responsible for that as a man?
Not if you're not, I would say not if you're not attracted to that. No.
So I should leave her and the kids because she gained weight. That's what you're
No,
saying.
I would say you should cut off her dick supply and see if she lose weight.
Her what?
So I should. So wait a minute. So what do I do in the meanwhile while she's trying to lose weight?
I mean, if you're communicating with her and you're letting her know, I still have sexual needs and you need to get in line, or I'm going to get my needs met somewhere else. It's up to her to get on your standard. That's what I would say.
What's the
so if you have to exercise it with another bitch that's more in shape and she chooses to stay, that's on her. If she want to leave, you don't like fat bitches, no way. So why does it matter?
So here's,
hold on, guys. Ladies, we don't mean to call anyone bitches. And I'm not advocating, and so I'm not advocating taking away anybody's dick supply. So I want to make these points clear. Lucky, please.
Taking away what?
Right.
He couldn't even get that shit out.
So wait a minute. So here's what I'm trying to say.
I got comfortable talking to podcast. I'm sorry.
The reason why I use that example, and I don't know why I use that example, because I was for some silly reason expecting a rational answer from an irrational person, right? I knew Lucky was gonna give me a rational answer, right? But at the end of the day, guess what? A normal person, right, would say, yeah, man, you know, that's still your woman. She gained that weight. She gained that weight because she had those kids of yours. She gave you those babies, and that's why she gained that weight. So, you know, you should still have sex with your woman. And my point of that being is that in a relationship, right, you don't get to pick and choose what part of the relationship you're going, you know what I'm saying, adhere to. Some things you might not be able to. Some things you might not be prepared or qualified for. And that's a part of growing in a relationship. But whatever you can do, you should do, especially if you're aware that that need is there. So in a relationship, I'm with my woman now. I don't have it all. My money ain't long like train smoke. My words still got to be respected, period. If you can't honor what I'm talking about, then I can move around because I know I could get somebody else that will. You know what I'm saying? So it's some stuff that it just is what it is. We try to tie in money to that. Money is funny. You can either have it or you don't. You don't have it. You know what I'm saying? But we're talking about behavior. Yeah, you're gonna respect me as a man, regardless of what I got and what I'm not doing. Her father didn't have to come and do the lawn. They could have paid somebody to do it. It's $20. Real talk. To mow a lawn, it's $20. I'm pretty sure they had habits, whether it was weed, liquor, or McDonald's. You pull that 20 from somewhere else and put it on the lawn if it's that important. But that's what I'm saying. That's what you do when the relationship is more important than picking and choosing where you want to say somebody ain't being a real man at, or somebody ain't being a real woman at. You take all that other stuff and you put it to the side and you figure out ways to get it done for you and your.
What about the trash? What about the trash though?
Not only that, podcast.
Say something.
In my opinion, I think that her father shouldn't have meddled in their relationship the way he did.
He did not. He did not.
Hold on a second.
What I was going to say.
Hold on, guys.
Respect the host, y'all. Respect the host.
Chandra, I want to make sure we're not making this show about you. I don't want to. Are you good?
No, it's not about her. But what I'm saying, in a situation like that, it's good for the father to talk to the man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, have a man to man.
That's a good point, actually.
He have.
Instead of telling what in all fairness, you did say that in all fairness that you did say that your father told you, listen, this is not for you. I think you need to.
He talked to both of us. Like he was like, look,
what I was just going off of what you said earlier, but in my opinion, I think that your father should have just had a man-to-man talk with your significant other, and then they could have got an understanding between the two, and maybe your significant other could have hashed out some things, some problems he had with you to your father. You know what I'm saying?
So he did. It's so crazy. Like everything you
stop sharing. More questions.
No, I'm not sharing. Hold on, Lucky. I just want to say I'm not getting into in everything.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Well, yeah,
it was just like I'm just doing an outline. I know how I do panels.
This stuff ain't nothing you talking about.
It's like It's like we did that. That's why I know for sure that we did everything we could to try to make it work. We did. We just was unhappy. It's time to move on. We both living good.
So wait a minute, M3.
Happy, and we
Hold on. Listen. two things I want to say. The first thing I want to say is I believe you because you said y'all was together for 8 years. The average relationship lasts 2. The average black marriage lasts 5. The average marriage in the USA lasts 8.5. So y'all was average. Y'all did what average people do. It is what it is. So, but I do have one question for you that I want you to just kind of think about it for like 10 seconds before you respond. Because if you respond really quickly, it's going to be some bullshit. You ready?
Yes.
Who was the woman in your life telling you where you were wrong at in your relationship? And there it is. So, sir, what's the next question?
That's thank you. That's why I like when y'all saying working on yourself. That's when I like being a mother was hard for me because I did it so young and I didn't have a mom in my life. My mom passed when I was 11. So it was a lot of things that I didn't know when it came down to being loving and compassionate and nurturing. I had to learn that on my own. And that's why I said when I became single, I had time. You know, that's why people shouldn't do things and have kids so early or have kids with men that you don't even know you're gonna marry, you're gonna be with, because you're not preparing yourself. You don't even know what to do. Yeah. So I didn't know what to do. So I had a male therapist and a female therapist. And now it's like a breath of fresh air. I needed this. I hate that I had kids in the process. I had to screen kids along with me, but it's like, damn, it took me forever. It took me to get out that relationship to realize, like, damn, I was fucked up. I was damaged.
First of all, let me salute you. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm saluting you is because I respect the fact that you admitted you didn't have any, you didn't have what you needed. But that's where a lot of women stop. I didn't have anybody to show me. I didn't have anybody to tell me. You took it a step further to go get what you need. And so I applaud that and I celebrate that. Excellent stuff. Awesome. Let me give you another hand clap. Yeah. Now, to what you said, though, I got to bring back the cap. I said I got to bring back the
cap.
Now, so you said your father said the man that you were with, he's not ready to be the man that you want him to be. And this is exactly what we're talking about. This is why we're talking about people changing.
That was cold. That was cold.
I like that. Yeah. That was cold.
Shout out my guy, Sir Hell, man.
What Sir Hell. One time for Sir Hell, like you did, like.
That was
no. Yeah, appreciate this. So I'm gonna ask this question, then I'm gonna actually get Hink up here, a podcast, if you can keep the conversation going for me. So do we do this in relationships? We get with a person and they have enough of what we want. And we think that as long as they got those things, we can slowly work to massage them to be what we want them to be, even if that changes them. What do you guys just thought about that?
Yeah, that's definitely how that works. That's basically what I've been doing for the last 12 years. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how I would say the average person thinks. Because we know nobody is gonna be perfect. So we kind of like. You know what, to be honest with you, I don't know. I don't even know what it is that makes you pick people. I know why I picked my woman, and it was from a sexual reason. And that's probably not the best reason to pick somebody. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. That's why I picked her. And because I always said to myself, if I found a woman that was sexually submissive, I believe that I could work anything else out. You know what I'm saying? So whatever else the other issues is, we'll get through it because I know I'm a sex addict. And so if I find somebody that's actually sexually submissive, we can fix everything else. And
for anybody who's struggling with addiction, and you're an addict as well, we have help for. Let's go ahead, podcast.
So yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you have to dealing with that. I knew I was like, okay, cool. If I get this person, I'll be all right. But what it is that you don't realize is that there are other things that come along with the things that you want. So that saying, be careful what you ask for because you just might get it. Well, what that really means is you say, man, I want this man that's super strong and muscular. But what comes with that is when he's upset, he's choking the hell out of you. You know what I'm saying? His slaps hurt worse. So you might want to say, you know what? I want a man that's skinny and weak. You know what I'm saying? Just so he won't have those. But I'm just saying, though, at the end of the day, you gotta be careful for what you ask for, because
it's things that come along with that. When you're talking about people specifically, is other behaviors and mentalities and habits and other things that come along with that you might not actually be prepared for. Let's go ahead and get Hank in here right now since he just hit the stage. You know what I'm saying? What's good, Hank?
What's up, dog?
Yeah. So I mean, the question right now though is about whether or not you think that we tend to get into relationships with people. We take them for who they are in the beginning, and then we spend a lot of relationship trying to change them and mold them into who or what we want them to be.
Well, I was looking at some of these things, listening to what y'all saying, man. We can't be defending lame dudes, man. That's what we can't do. We know there's some dudes out here that are lame like that. Now, I don't know if her story is true or not. I don't know. But if a dude can't cut the goddamn grass, that's a problem.
You could take the trash out.
Now, if he can't take the trash out, that's a problem. But look, we know it's true. We know dudes out there like that. I done went to the gas station. I'm watching a dude sit in the car while his girl pumping the goddamn gas. Like, man, what type of shit is this, man? But these are the type of dudes we champion for. We defend. We can't be doing that, dog. As men, if we're gonna be the leaders, we need to be leaders all the way.
To his defense, of the man that might not have got out the car, he might have been a shooter. You know what I'm saying? He got to stay in the car. He can't get outside the car because he got ops. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
Hey, he was able to light that black and mild up. He's able to get out there and pump that goddamn gas.
He had his head down in the car so you couldn't see it, man. That's all it was.
CJ, don't do that. CJ, don't do that. Don't protect these lames. Let them be lame. This is what they are. But but unfortunately, like you said, chicks will make bad decisions and get with them. Now that's on her for getting with that dude. She made a bad investment.
Sir Hale said maybe he didn't have legs, bro. Maybe he was
he need a wheelchair his ass up out of there.
No. Come on now, man. Nah, I know you don't mean that. I'll let y'all get away with this, but I know you don't mean that.
Don't mean what, big bro?
That he got to get his wheelchair out.
Throw his ass up out of there. And now, would you sit there and say, pay somebody? Let me ask you this, dog. Why would I pay a man to come over and cut my yard? If I'm an able-bodied man, I could cut my own grass.
Fuck that. I'll do it. I ain't going.
Listen, I ain't
gonna be able to do it.
Besides somebody cut my yard. That's the
way
I would
cool. Hey, take this little dub. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I'm
being lazy for the podcast for that.
I'm gonna agree.
That's
no,
a fact.
Listen, I'm gonna agree with podcasts. Listen, when we talking about trading time for money, I'm a money guy. Listen, if it's gonna cost me less to pay somebody to cut my grass than me actually cut my grass, because I'll be busy. Listen, if it's going to be more affection,
Breezy, stop. This man she described was not busy.
No, I'm talking about me. I'm not talking.
How was he not busy? How was he not busy? Hold on. Hold on.
A yard big enough to cover the weed eater.
Wait, 1 second. One second. How was he not busy?
It don't matter, baby. I left him.
Hold on, M3. M3. Hold on, real quick. Lucky,
every time I say something, podcast can't wait.
How was he not busy? You said he wasn't busy. I'm asking you, how was he not busy?
Well, what was he doing then?
See what I mean? Exactly. He had a job. When you have a job, that means you're busy.
Like me, he was off on weekend.
It don't matter.
It's an epic hour of outrageous excuses.
So, ladies, make that same
exactly.
Stop making it.
Why are you making excuses for that?
So you don't have time.
I'm not making excuses. What I'm saying is this.
I'm saying, ladies can make that same excuse. If she worked, that's her excuse to not do the duties that she's required to do around the house.
I work, take care of the house. I make sure the clothes wash. I do it all, wash everything, fold everything nice.
Do you work?
And I still have sex. And I still had sex with him.
She from Mississippi, y'all. Y'all don't understand.
Man, get the.
Oh man. I mean,
man.
I still gave him what he want.
That ain't the point. Hank, let me tell you what I'm saying.
You don't know about the Mississippi women, man. I'm telling you.
Let me tell you what I'm saying.
What she said,
wait, hold on. One mic, y'all. Look, one mic. Hank, listen what I'm saying. She said the man didn't take out the trash. I ain't say nothing. She said the man didn't cut the grass. I ain't say nothing. I'm taking her word for that. But what Lucky said was make it seem like the dude wasn't doing nothing with his life. and that's why I got it. That's why I
didn't even say
intervened.
life. See how you stretch that?
When I heard it,
And
you
that's
said
why I
life.
intervened,
I
because
can
don't
pay someone.
mischaracterize what was going on with the
He
man life. He
said,
worked
listen,
5 days
Okay,
a week.
when I heard you say something, you said
What
I
he
said, well, why
said
didn't he just get
was,
somebody to pay somebody to
I
cut the
be
grass?
busy, so
That's a
I can
fact.
pay somebody to do
But that's
this.
a problem.
She
though,
would
dog.
not be
Let me ask-
complaining or having an issue with wearing certain outfits if she knew she was with a productive man. Y'all are
He worked
throwing that
5 days a
in there
week.
to support a conversation. So let's just say Lucky is wrong. This man was busy. He had better shit to do, and she just was
That's a
off
fact.
her rockers. You just
Yep.
said he worked, so therefore he could be busy and not do his duties. But when women say,
I
I'm
didn't
busy,
say
I'm
that.
tired, I don't want to cook, I don't want to wash, I don't want to do all these things, the conversation is, it don't matter. You should still do that because that's still your duty. How is it conditional when it comes to a man?
So this is
And y'all
where it's
not being
unfortunate.
genuine. That's
This,
why these
but this is unfair. Why it's unfair for you to do that, because you can't bring conversations that you had with other people into this one. We
I
having
didn't.
one
I'm
right now.
talking about this one. Since I've been on
Nobody
here,
never said none of that stuff you just said.
Are we saying we okay? But a lot of times you bring in generalities when we've been on this panel, whether it's today, last week, prior to that, when we're having general conversations. So if I do it too, podcast, you can't sit up
Wait a
there and
minute.
say,
What?
you can't do
But
that.
you can't.
You do
But
it all
you
the
can't
time.
say.
Y'all just sit up here
No.
and
You just
okay.
said that we said. You saying that we saying that the woman can't be tired of none of that. None of us have said that.
You got it. Your voice.
Nobody have said that. That's all I'm saying. Nobody have
I
said
didn't
that.
say nobody here just said that. I'm saying in conversation, just like everything we say is a talking point. In conversation, a woman can't pick and choose what's her duty just because she worked. So to throw that out there to say to listening ears that a man has the right to choose because he's a working man is misleading, and it's not right to say that.
Let me answer this. I'm going to answer this really quickly, and then I'm going to give some balance.
Something like take the trash out. You could take that out on your way to work.
Check this out. So here, I'm making it real simple, guys. The person who wants the most needs to do the most. And in most relationships, women want the most. So I think if women wants the most, they have to put the most work in.
Wow, never heard that before.
Damn,
that's brand new.
Gangster.
But I don't know. I wasn't talking about the trash. I was
drive-by.
specifically talking about the we were specifically talking about the lawn care, right? And then that's when you interjected and said about him not being busy. And I'm like, she literally said the man worked the job.
But
he literally worked, and then she just said he had the weekends off, so he worked 5 days a week.
But what not everybody can afford to pay for lawn care.
It's $20.
No, what yard man you talking about for $20?
You keep saying it's just $20. What if people can't afford to pay $20 for lawn
Cap. When I was cutting yards, I needed the 50.
If you average man making about $45,000 a year, some people just can't afford to do that. To pay somebody $20 every week to cut your grass. So that's $80 a month, right?
Wait, but Hank, here's the problem though. But wait,
hold on. Depends on where you live. You might have to take grass cut for 4 to 5 months out of the year.
That's a fact. But hold on, this is the problem.
$80.
Hank, this is what we was doing. We wasn't personalizing it.
That's $400, dog.
Wait, Hank, listen. We wasn't personalizing it, but we were using M3's situation. In her situation, they both worked. So you don't get to say he only made 40K. They both had jobs. So they could afford the $20, $30 every 2 weeks.
They're not putting that
you know what I'm saying?
But
To get their lawn care cut.
They're not putting that money together like that.
But Hank, I think we're getting too caught up on the grass. I think she would have gave him a little grace if he would have took the trash out. He could have did that. Or, or like what she said, put the bed together. We're not going to let him. You shouldn't let another man come in your house.
No. Can put the bed together?
Put the bed together, right?
You need excuse for that podcast?
I
didn't hear that.
Oh, now you ain't hear it.
I didn't hear that part. I heard about the trash and I heard about
You got to be a bigger man than this, dog. If you protecting the lane, can't put a bed together.
Not about protecting.
Can't cut the goddamn grass. Can't take out the trash. What the hell what they need you for? You're useless.
He worked. That's what she needed him for. That's why she stayed. That's why she stayed for 8 years.
That's part of it.
8 years, half of the time we were struggling.
18 years.
Oh, look. See, you ain't telling that part, Hank. You ain't hear that part, Hank.
Guys, let's pivot. I want to get it off of Tiandra because I think you guys are missing it. Guys, we're not in the cave days anymore. It's okay to pay somebody. If you can't afford $80 to cut grass, you don't need to be married. And that's the straight up truth. Let me tell you something about me. I went out to Home Depot because y'all know Sir Hill Speaks. Y'all know what I do. I ain't get black for no reason. I'm up there cutting the grass, doing what I got to do. I got my muscle shirt on, I'm glistening. But you know what happened? It took 2 hours to do the lawn, which took 2 hours away from doing my job. You have to know what's a better use of your time.
You had a battery charge.
Guys, see what I'm saying? But here I'm saying with this. You have to know what your time is worth. Hear what I'm saying? If you work a job and you get paid $30 an hour, it's better to go pay somebody $20 to get the yard done because your time costs something. And I think what we do.
Y'all know what she was saying though.
But guys, let me say this part, and then I'm gonna get Dustin back in here. The goal is just like I don't need a woman necessarily to be in the kitchen with the dishwater. I need the woman to get the job done. So that means you have to hire help or call a cousin or your mom over to get the job done. That's the goal. And it's the same thing it is with men. Listen, if you putting beds together ain't your thing, but you can afford a house that the bed is in, well, do what you got to do. Just make sure the job gets done. But I'm gonna tell you what the real issue here is. A lot of y'all are undercover hoes. If somebody comes to your house and help you out, you want to give them some. And that's the real issue here.
But Sir Hill,
I'm lying.
Sir Hill, me paying somebody to cut the grass is no different from me buying my wife a dishwasher. You ain't got to wash the dishes, just load the dishwasher. That's it.
No, Freezy, I got one better for you.
But you know, I
You can cook. Hold on, Freezy. Hold on, M3. You can cook, right?
Y'all keep talking like y'all got money like that.
Hold on,
He
M3.
said $20. I don't know what y'all care. Y'all going with just $20. It's not just $20 anymore.
Okay, well maybe it's not. Or maybe it's not. In the past. But hold on, M3. Let me ask you a question. M3, you could cook, right?
Yes.
Did you still want to go to the restaurant? Yes or no?
Hell no, man. I'm from Mississippi, man. We cook.
All right,
I told you she from Mississippi, bro.
Irrational.
I told you that.
Irrational, illogical.
I told you she from Mississippi, bro.
Restaurant, that means that I just went grocery shopping.
You ain't want to listen to me though.
Out.
That's that Chicago shit. You don't know, boy. You don't know.
Let me Google Mississippi restaurants real quick. Let me see if
it ain't many of them, nigga. It's like 5 in Mississippi.
You gonna see 3 restaurants. Ain't no
restaurant. Get at it's the South crap, bro. Everybody go to restaurants.
Restaurants in Tunica. What you saying?
What'd you say, dog?
Okay. Small ass town. We don't even have a Walmart.
I ain't trying to hear that. It's restaurants everywhere.
We don't even have a Walmart, bro.
You know it is, but they from the South. They don't.
I ain't got no Walmart.
No, we don't even have a Walmart.
Bro, I just told you that they ain't got 5 stoves.
Hey guys,
cook at home.
Hey guys, what are we talking about? I'm so lost. Where is this? No, so
crooked letter I.
No, the point I was trying to make was this. It was the same point that CJ was making. I mean, Freezy was making about the dishwashers that, and I would have asked Lucky, but look, because I know Lucky will be honest about this because Lucky is
looking like that
chef out here. So I know she appreciates fine dining. I know she appreciates restaurants. So it don't matter that you can cook. You still want your man to take you to a restaurant.
Yeah, we're going on a date, but you
right. So how
you
much is that a month?
You asked me, do I go
Jesus is the strength of my life, woman. So how much is that a month?
Jesus is the strength.
We don't do that. We don't have to do that.
So then you can't answer it.
That's not in the budget.
So you can't answer it then, M3. You can't answer it. So let me talk to Lucky really quickly. So Lucky. How much is your restaurant visit per month? Please, Sir Hell, please, bro, really quickly.
But we got to let everybody respond now.
I know. I just really quickly, Lucky. How much is your restaurant visits per month? How much would you be expecting?
A month? I'd say like $300.
$300 a month. Can I get my lawn care taken care of for $300 a month? Yes, I can. And that's my point. So if
you
I
ain't
have
got no lawn in Chicago. You ain't got no lawn.
No, I'm in Kentucky. So we literally paid the lawn guy. It's $30 now, but we pay him $30. When he first come out after the winter is over with, it's like 45. Yes, because but the point is this, because when he first come out after winter is over with and spring starting, he first come out and it's all big and bushy. Then we got to pay him like $45, right? Because he finna take care of all of that mess. But then after that, it's a consistent 2 weeks. And it was 20. It might be 30 now. I just got back. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, like I said, it ain't $300 a month.
2022. These dudes are soft. There's no way I'm gonna let another man come unless I'm not an able body. Ain't no other.
Get a woman to do it.
I take pride in my yard. I don't know about y'all.
You a lawn guy though. You a lawn guy, Hank.
Right. I don't do that. I cut my own yard. Man, I'm not letting nobody else. I'm not letting a man come here and fix my bed either. I fix
Hank,
my
but
own goddamn bed.
Hank,
If
you
that
look
means I
like
gotta
Crazy
use
ask
you.
question.
Hold on, Freezy. Time out, dog.
Hank, where are you
I'm gonna
from?
fix my own damn bed. And guess
Where
what?
you
I'm
from?
only gonna do that. I'm gonna fix my hot water heater, my AC if I need to. If I gotta YouTube it, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. Do I got the money? Yeah, I got the money, but I'm not gonna invest my money in some bullshit I can do. I already
But that's the key, though. That's so that you can do. That's the key.
Where
That
is
you
he
can do.
from?
Yeah.
Where are you
Kentucky.
from originally?
I'm from Louisville, Kentucky.
No, he just from the South. Whatever the South is.
Right.
He's from the southernmost part of the South.
Right.
We move a little
So
different
I
down
will
here.
say that demographic plays a gigantic role in the way that you're conditioned, raised, and the demographic that you
That's a good
also
point.
because my papa.
What demographic don't take out trash?
Yankees up north or south.
I want to hear what she got to
Bro, I
say.
don't appreciate y'all trying to destroy this man like this. He is not here to defend himself.
No,
Just
but
so
I'm
you know,
just
guys,
saying,
we're
like,
not talking about him anymore. So
We know lames out here like him though. You might have him in your house. You might have him as your. It might be you, little podcast.
Oh,
You
it's
might
definitely
be
me. I'm not cutting no grass. I'm not cutting no
All
grass.
right, well, he might be the lane we talking about. But we know they out here.
I used to get
We don't act
busted
like
and
we
all
don't know
kinds of
they don't exist. We
Hank.
know they are here. And those are the type of men I try to reach out to, talk to. Hey, dude, you got to be better. If you want that type of woman you looking for, be the best version of you.
Hey, Hank,
Be the best man you can be.
Hank, you rake too?
That's a good point.
You rake too, Hank?
Like the leaves, you rake up the leaves.
We got leaf blowers, nigga. Stop playing.
No. He gets a broom.
Right.
Whatever he gets a broom and a dustpan and them little Walmart bags because he's gonna do it the right way.
Hey, look, y'all playing with me, dog. I'm telling you, I'm different from them y'all soft ass dudes. Y'all different. That's cool.
I'll
I
be that.
understand that. Enjoy
But
enjoy
I can come. But look, I can call my lady right now. Much as I sit on this panel.
Don't you?
Wait, no, listen. As much as I can sit on these, as much as I sit on these panels every week and tell y'all I'm against gender roles, right? I can call my lady right now and she would tell you I get upset when she be grabbing the trash. Leave it there. But babe, I'm gonna just drive it around on my way to work, man. I don't care. That's it's you messing up my flow. It's a part of something that I do early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? After she leave out for work, then I grab the trash, I take it out, I'll wash the dishes, clean the stove or whatever. So it's a part of my routine. So you interrupting my routine, you know what I'm saying? When you take out the trash, plus I just don't think women should take out the trash. I don't think they should.
Well, not only that.
That's a fact.
Not only that. Listen, I'm not a stranger to cutting grass, but I got friends that have lawn care businesses. Then I think to myself, why not, invest in black businesses? You know what I'm saying? They cut grass.
Yeah,
So
that's a good point.
Can I say something
This
right
makes
quick,
sense.
please? Y'all mind if I say something? Look,
That's a good point.
the point ain't even about that he could have paid somebody to cut. The point is the nigga was shiftless. If it's true or not, we can just speak on some guys out here in the world. Some of these guys shiftless, bro. They just don't do nothing. You can badge it, you can balance it out like me. Like, don't expect me to pull your transmission out your car with my bare hands. I ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? But I can get somebody to come fix it. But it's like, do I know somebody? Some dudes don't know no damn body. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these guys be not resourceful.
CJ, I really trust your mind. I trust your mind, right? This is what I want you to do. I want you to do me a favor. She said, first of all, she said they met in college. Really quickly, M3, did he graduate?
Huh?
Did he graduate college?
We both did.
Okay, so this is what I want you to hear. He went to college, he graduated, and he had a job where he worked every day. He worked 5 days a week. And what we're trying to say is this man was irresponsible or lazy or any of this other shit. Man, I'm not finna. Boy, y'all get out of here. I listen to everything. I don't just listen to what I can hit.
Bro,
I mean,
no,
I
don't see. I don't.
Hey, one mic, guys. One mic, guys.
I was the one talking. Look, I'm
See,
saying
what?
this. I'm saying this, bro. There are guys that work 20 hours a week, 40 hours a week. You telling me that a guy that works can't be lazy? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, that's what I'm telling you.
No, that's not true. You can be lazy in another area. You can be lazy. You can be lazy in sex. I'm not trying to say that nigga ain't got nothing going, but I'm saying if you ain't doing what it takes for your house to run at maximum efficiency as a man, what you can do, you lazy. This is what it is.
If you have 4 kids and you're very attentive to 3 and not to 1, does that make you a bad father? That's a yes or no question.
You're not a good enough father.
Yes, you are.
You got it.
You are.
Y'all get it. Let me know when y'all ready to be
All
honest.
four.
Hey.
That's a problem.
Hey guys,
let me know when y'all ready.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Tiandra, listen to Zachary. I'm just giving him a name for YouTube. Zachary, we apologize. We're not coming down on you. We don't know you. This is just conversation. So let's reel it back in, Zachary. You look like a Zachary kind of. So thank you for this. It's been a great conversation, great segment. But let's reel this back in, guys.
Yeah.
Now let's dig into this. Now this is general. This is just general, y'all. Listen, nobody bring it back to Zachary. Nobody. Hink,
what's his
podcast,
social security number?
Podcast. All right, so let's keep it general. My question is though, people would say in this kind of conversation, well, you should have vetted better. Like you should have saw that better. Let's say that's true. If we know that that's how a person is, and we're not talking about Zachary, right? Let me just make this point clear again. And we know that this is how they are. Is it wrong for us to expect that they're going to change if that's kind of how they were when we got with them?
Shout out to Zachary. No, I'm just playing. I don't know, man. I mean, to be honest with you, I think that the expectation is human nature. It is what it is. We want what we want from people. That's from our kids, from our parents, from the people we be with. I think it's very hard for you to avoid that. Maybe I could assume that men who are able to avoid expectations in relationships when it comes to women are better off in those relationships, maybe have more success. I don't know. That's a very difficult question to ask. I mean, because you form the question of, is it wrong? And I think it's human nature. So I don't necessarily can say it's wrong or right. Is it detrimental? Probably. Yeah. Especially if you pedestalizing people and you have these high expectations of them, and even more so if they don't know it. I did that with a couple of relationships of people that I had on YouTube, and they didn't even know it. And so when they disappointed me, their fall was very hard. You know what I'm saying, from that pedestal, and they were sitting around like, wait a minute, I didn't even know that you had these expectations of me. But I think the expectations are normal. I mean, we want what we want, especially when we have ideas of what we think relationships are supposed to look like, and then we choose somebody to be with. It's like, man, I need you to be that. I need you to be natural. I need you to get rid of the tight clothes every day. I need you to learn how to cook. I need you to be nurturing to me and my kids. And I need somebody that I can express all my love and all my dedication and loyalty and all this other stuff too. And, you know, and they're going to have the same expectations from you.
So why pick that in the first place?
Yeah, and let me ask a question. So I want you guys to answer this question. But have you guys ever heard a couple, arguing, and then, she's complaining he's not doing something or vice versa, and they say, I was like this when you met me? Have you guys heard of that before?
Yeah, I hear that all the time.
Yeah,
I actually hear that all the time.
Like, what do you guys think about that statement? Let's start with Man of Prestige podcast just went, and let's work our way around. What do you guys think about that?
First of all, what's going on, everyone? Good to see you all.
Hey, what up?
You, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the question is, should we expect them to change?
Yes. So
is that the question?
You get with somebody. Is it wrong to get with somebody knowing how they are, and then you want more? You grow and you change, and you want more from them, which will require them to change. Is that wrong? Is that wrong to go in with that expectation?
It's not necessarily wrong, but you can create the wrong outcome if you're expecting them to do something they've never done before, right? It's not necessarily wrong because honestly, people do evolve, and it's okay to have the expectations, like you said. But you are also responsible to manage your expectations as an adult. Period. You're responsible to manage your expectations, because if it's off, right, you have to pivot along the way as you continue in that journey, right? Sometimes at some point you just have to realize that your expectations is probably not going to be met. But there are other reasons, other value that you get from this relationship. So you have to assess that and manage your expectations along the way. It's not enough to just say, I got expectations, now I'm mad. No, you're an adult. If you're mad, you're going to create other outcomes from just being mad. You're going to resent, right? And then you're going to destroy some things that you may already have in the relationship as well, too. So it's very important to be very, very careful with our expectations. Manage them. Just manage them.
Yep. Sandra, yep, it's on you.
Yeah, I agree with what he was saying. Hold on, I got a lot of stuff going on. Hold on, pass me.
Make sure you get my $100 ready too.
Yeah. So.
Oh, I want my 100. Trust me. Run the tape back, please.
So when I
I
hear people say
already
that,
clipped it.
when I hear people say you met me like this, first I used to be like, damn, that's some bullshit, right? But then after thinking about it, I'd be like, they right. You know what I'm saying? Like, people should do a better job at vetting people, man. You know, like people aren't gonna change until people aren't gonna change for you unless they love you more than they love themselves or the whole relationship, right? So you should vet people and know a person's personality and their core values before you even getting seriously involved with somebody for the long haul. Like, I don't even think people in today's society, especially with the what is it called, Gen Zs or whatever, they don't even have core values anymore, I don't think. But yeah, so when people say stuff like that, I used to disagree with it because listen, okay, just to explain what I'm talking about, because I'll just give a situation that I know about. My cousin, she ended up marrying one of my best friends. He was a teacher, right? He started out as a teacher, but she was like a fun girl. She was fun girl. She liked to travel. She dressed sexy all the time. Blah blah blah. This is how he met. She's always on social media, right? But my homeboy, he ended up moving up from a teacher to a guidance counselor. He ended up from moving from a guidance counselor to a vice principal. Now he's a principal. As he progressed, he expected her to to change from this fun girl to a more responsible, almost like a first lady type. Inviting her to different galas and events that the school board was holding. But guess what? She was still on social media. She was still this fun girl. She was still Instagramming it up, wearing these skimpy outfits. And she told him that right at the brink of their divorce. Listen, you met me like that. You met me like this. So at first I was like, she wrong. But then after sitting back and looking at the whole thing, the whole picture, I was like, she right. She right. You know what I'm saying? He should have vetted better. We can't expect people to change just because we want them to. That's just my opinion right there.
Okay, let's hold on to that. That's a good point. Andy, what's your perspective on that?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I had muted myself. But I mean, if somebody wakes up tomorrow and they're told, oh, okay, have you ever seen those things they like they get high blood pressure or cholesterol or something like that? They just start throwing out all the good snacks in the house, right? And now you're
Damn
mad because they're
shame.
like, hey, I don't have high cholesterol. Don't throw my snacks out. And so I look at it as that sometimes people start changing and they just automatically expect the person that they're with to just jump on that bandwagon and make those same changes. And I think that change is one against our human nature. We are conditioned to stay within our comfort zone or our comfort level or where we're at. And so we have to, again, go against our nature and what serves ourself in order to evolve past that. So I think that it's like what you said, you meet somebody in the club and then they start going back to the club. What did you think was going to happen? That's where you met them at. So yeah, it's just, do they love that relationship or love that person enough to want to change? They have to want to do it.
Okay, Lucky, what's your perspective on that?
About expectations.
Yeah, so you get with the person and they say, hey, you guys are going through problems. You've grown in whatever area you've grown, and you are communicating you need more. And they say, hey, I was like this when you met me. Is it wrong for you to expect more out of them if they were indeed like that when you met them?
No, it's not wrong because you're supposed to evolve and you're supposed to grow in the relationship. If usually that's the person's mindset that still has the individual mindset in a relationship. If both people think about both people You want to see the best of your partner. You want those things. So I don't think it's wrong to expect them to keep elevating in the relationship. Now it depends how y'all started. If y'all was having conversations, nothing about elevation, nothing about this person on any type of goal, trajectory, anything like that, then it is kind of dumb because now you're putting your expectations that you know that person can't meet. It's just like when you have, like, I was having this conversation with my family. I would never go to my father and have certain conversations if I know he's not the type of person to receive or have conversations the way I need to. So why am I going into a conversation expecting him to respond anything different than himself? I think your expectations have to match up with what you know you can get out of a person as well as what you're also offering. So it's also unfair to expect a person to do the same things that you're willing to do in a relationship. I'm getting you all this stuff, so I kind of expect you to get me the same equal amount of stuff because then now you start to track. So I think your
Why your voice get louder?
I'm sorry.
I'm just playing. Go ahead.
Oh. I was saying, I forgot my train of thought. You just threw me. I'm sorry.
It's yeah. So CJ, what's your thought about this? Because I'm thinking like Lucky. I'm on that same perspective. If you get with somebody and you chose to get with a person, like, don't you have an obligation to meet their needs? So CJ, like, what's your thought on this?
I mean, I mean, it's not. I don't think you're wrong for expecting more out of a person, your person. But this is my thing, bro. Like, we gotta stop lying. Like when you meet a person, a lot of people don't want to address what they don't like. Most people are scared of confrontation. Let's be real. And especially if them jeans fit just right on her. For some guys, they'll just deal with her because she's fine and she got a body, whatever the case may be. And then later on, when they over that body because they done did so much with it, it's like, well, now I need you to change. This is just how I look at it, man. Vetting is only gonna work to a certain degree. You know, you don't know everything, sure enough. But a lot of the stuff that go wrong with people, like I'll use myself, right? With my ex-wife. Now, I'm not gonna go into it heavy, but one of her biggest issues was her attitude. From day one, she had it. But see, I didn't see it because the ass was blinding me from seeing it. I like ass was here, attitude was there. I couldn't see it. You know what I'm saying? Well, I saw it, but I ignored it. You get what I'm saying? That's what most people do. So we talking about expectations. Yeah, you want to go further. You do want to grow as a couple, and I think that happens naturally for most people if they're really in a relationship to be in a relationship. Like they're not just having fun or doing the run of the mill BS. When you in a relationship with somebody and you because you chose them, both of y'all chose each other. You had to have some kind of conversation of where you want to go. You can't then later on not want to move forward or not try to progress and blame the other person for it. That doesn't make sense.
Excellent. Mr. He said, Mr. She said, you guys been married for about 67 years. You guys know a thing or two about this. What do you guys think about this question about changing and giving each other what you need as you've grown?
Yeah. I believe that, I don't think you're wrong. I would be more in line with what Lucky was saying. I don't think you're wrong for, hoping and looking forward to. I think that's the operative term that I would use versus expectations. But I don't think there's anything wrong with you looking forward to a person, you know, being better, wanting more, and again, making better mistakes. Again, we're always going to make mistakes. We just hope that you learn from the ones that you made, and the ones you make tomorrow are even better. It just shows that you have some sort of self-reflection. You have a sense of, awareness to notice what's going on and make the necessary changes. But in my neighborhood, it's two sayings: if nothing changes, nothing changes. And that's exactly what it is. If you just sit there hoping, wishing, expecting things to change, but don't get up and do the necessary work to make it change, it's not going to change. And like an apology, the best apology is change behavior. So you could say I'm sorry all day, but if your actions don't prove that you're sorry, if you're no longer doing the things that you did to make you sorry, then you're really not sorry. So I think change is absolutely required and necessary in order for people to see and know that you appreciate being with them. I think that again, they're a mirror. You know, we reflect each other. I think most, you know, cantankerous men have cantankerous women behind them. The reason they're yelling and screaming is because the men behind them are yellers and screamers, and that's what's emulated to them. So, you know, I believe that we hold a certain barometer for our significant others, and I'm in line with the men. I think that, you know, there are masculine respects that are given up for feminine courtesies, and I think that when we recognize that, that's what makes us a little more attractive to our mates throughout the day. When we take out that trash, when we pump that gas, when we prepare that dinner, when we curate that house, that adds to the allure, to the attraction of that person, and letting me be proud and why I'm with this person, because they care about me. They consider my feelings in the way that they, you know, treat me in the way that I treat them. And I think that when we start to, you know, lose sight of that is when we start to look at it like scorekeeping. Well, I'm doing this and he's doing that, and I got 3, he got 2, so he's losing, and we got to really, you know, take a time out, reevaluate this game. So, you know, I just think it's approach, you know, maybe perspective, and if we start to change that, look at it as a collective, then I think things might get a little better.
Excellent. Hink, what's your thought on this?
Miss She gonna say? I didn't know if she's gonna speak on it or not. Okay. Could you ask the question again? Because the question I'm seeing and what you asked earlier isn't changed on me.
Yeah, so like, is it wrong essentially for you to grow and then expect the person that you're with and you know how they are? Is it wrong for you to expect that they're going to change as well?
Okay, now I know your question said in a committed relationship. So is that still on the table? The commitment and the
commitment.
Okay, and
Marriage,
when you say
yeah.
committed, you mean a marriage, because that's a factor for me. Oh yeah, change is gonna have to be made. It's gonna have to be made if because it's not gonna be about you as an individual anymore. It's gonna be about us. You know, so that's a change right then and there. That selfish mindset's gonna have to change. So that's gonna be the major change that I'll be expecting or looking for. But now, if she's the type of girl, what I know some of the people's giving example for that's out in the club and out here doing this and doing that, I wouldn't get with her anyway.
Right.
I wouldn't have nothing to do with her. If that's what she's going to be doing out there fast, doing all this and doing out, she wouldn't make it on my roster. No, sir. So.
Hey, can I ask a question, sir? Here.
Yeah, please. Go ahead.
Do y'all believe that love language is something that is like a really serious thing?
No, I don't.
Is it serious?
Yes, it is. It's a serious thing. Yes.
Yeah, we believe so.
What are the love languages?
What was
I
the
don't
question?
know by heart.
I said, do you believe love language is like a serious thing, like something that is impactful?
What are they though? Do anybody even know?
Like, I know a couple.
Yeah,
It's
it's multiple.
Acts of service.
Acts of service, touch, you know, gifts,
stuff like that.
You know.
I'm saying for people.
You know, I'll break it down for you, Freezy, and I'll tell you from what a man needs. That thing dropped, some food and some silence. It's only 3 for us.
That's it.
The other 5 is for the ladies.
That's it. That's what I'm saying.
The other
Because some men like appreciation. Some men like to be shown appreciation.
I mean, dropping it, I feel appreciated. Appreciate you, baby.
Yeah. I mean, it would be based on you and what your requirements are, so that you want that person to keep fulfilling your expectations.
Yeah,
Act of service, yeah.
Really, to ask a woman, like, it's really important to ask a woman. That's how you know exactly how. If she say, you know, with gifts, you already know what she about. She like to receive all these different gifts. You know, it's best to ask women these questions nowadays to kind of see.
Yeah, that's
exactly
one of my
what
love
they mind.
languages, gifts. Exactly.
But women, I've noticed about women though, women typically do what they want. Men say what they want. Women do what they want. So if she's always giving gifts and stuff and always being sweet and kind and stuff, she gonna do it. And she trying to tell you that's what she want. And then when she doesn't get that, I do all of this for you. I cook your dinner and run your bath parties. That's her way of telling you what she wants.
Well,
Hey, podcast, your camera kind of messing up too, bro.
My love language is acts of
That
kindness.
must just be on y'all end because it looks straight
Gifts
over
is an
here.
act
I
of
don't know what's
kindness.
going on.
Yeah,
He
it
on
kind
that
of like
dial-up. He got that
yeah,
dial-up.
kind of
Get
like
better internet
something
service
like that.
for a
It's like I
podcast.
like to.
Yeah, that's
I do
what it
like to
is.
give things, but it's hard for me to receive
He
though.
like to give things. So okay.
It's hard for me to receive. I'm not gonna lie. Like me, I'm like the person. Like I wear my heart on my
You
sleeve.
get
Like
that $20 donate for that internet.
Mississippi.
Hold on, Tiandra, what were you saying?
like I'm the type of person where it's just that's like my love language all around. Like with just friends, family. Like I'm the type of person where I would give my shirt on my back to people, but it's hard for me to receive those things though. In most cases.
But I bet you expect it, and if he doesn't do it, oh, it's a problem.
No, see, that's what I'm saying. It's like me. I'm so used to like giving. Now I don't give me gifts or anything, but it's like I'm just like I'm the type of person like I'm gonna ask you like, how was your day? Like I give those type of like things, but in most cases I don't never get that in return.
Wait a minute. So,
Hey,
you're a human.
Y'all saw that? I don't get it in return. That's what I'm saying. Women
So
typically give you what they want to have.
How I'm doing for the day.
That's
You're
true.
just like a regular human does. Do you do it
I
in
can't
like
hear
a
y'all.
different
I'm
way?
sorry, y'all. I can't hear.
Oh.
So can y'all hear me? Is this the one?
It sounded a little muffled. It sounded a little
I
muffled.
think we're hearing them off their computer mic. Not
Yeah, it can't be the road, Mike.
No, I'll tell you what it is, guys. It got to be one mic. So everybody mute up, and let's let Mr. He said finish it up.
You on mute now.
How I sound?
It
Yeah,
sounds like
if
your
you tap
computer mic.
tap the microphone.
No,
That sound like it ain't coming. It sound like the sound is actually coming from the computer and not the mic. It don't sound like your voice is actually coming through the mic. That's what it is. But yeah. So
it's all
chest
good
tattoos, huh?
No, guys. So see, you guys notice this now, fellas. Let me ask you a question. Do you know your love language, and have you ever shared that with your woman, and she's loved you according to your love language? Because I don't know many men who talk like that. I'm just being honest.
I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't know many men that talk like that either. And here's the problem where it comes with love languages. Let's say if I'm with a woman, and I tell this woman my love language is receiving gifts. Do that even sound right, Sir Hale?
Yes.
I'm saying so. Okay. So.
Oh my. You said Sir Hill. I was just.
Maybe that's part of the problem. There's more to know than just how we talk naturally, right? That's why people get in problems. When you get in problems, you assess the problem, right? And you learn more about our personality, our temperament, right? And all these different things, right? So it's just a book. There's an assessment. You just don't come up with, hey, it's gift, right? There's an assessment that you do that's based off of the answers that you give, and then it spits out whatever the assessment says. It's like a test, just like any other test you do, right? And then it says, based off of those answers, it says, hey, these are but it's a tool. It's not a thing by itself. It's a tool to get you to know your partner a little bit better. So it's not like this, the way Sahil is making it sound right now, like some kind of like.
Well, I think men express their love
some kind of pink stuff that is forbidden for men. Like, stop the cat.
Oh, it's forbidden. Fellas, let me see you saying something like this. I'm gonna clip it. Respond to it.
I want to hear Lucky's response, because she said, yeah. Because if I say my love language is receiving gifts, so I don't feel like I feel like my biggest love connection with you is if you keep giving me gifts. As a man, it just don't sound right.
The love language part, I get how that could come apart. That's not how you just would say it.
Okay.
That means I gotta keep buying you. So most people aren't saying, hey, this is my love language. Your love language would be what you express to your partner that tells them what you appreciate. So if your love language is, you constantly want reassurance. That means every now and then or throughout her day, you want to know if you're thinking about her. You might want to still have her tell you that she loves you or how much she appreciates you. Maybe it's sex. You know what I'm saying? I need sex on whatever.
Physical touch.
That actually,
physical touch, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That actually shows you that your partner is still in love with you or any type of affection. would be your love language. The thing is you're not going to hear most men say that, because this is why women are so shocked with all these conversations, is because most men aren't really communicating what it takes to keep me happy and making sure she sticks to that. You don't really hear it until she done pissed you off, and you like, well, maybe if you did it, now she's learning about it in a time where it's usually negative. You know what I'm saying? But if your love language, I'm sure you have a certain expectation that you would like your wife to do for you to keep feeling, for lack of a better term, fuzzy on the inside.
But a lot of
naked.
simp
For
dudes
you to
act
know that you're
Naked.
appreciated in the
Yeah.
relationship. Once she stops showing things that show that you're appreciated to her, then that's what it says, okay, you're not really speaking my language. So it's like, you're not going to, you ever been in a relationship or y'all ever been with somebody and they saying, well, I don't know why you upset at that. That's not something I would get mad at, because you're not
Yeah,
dating
that's stupid.
me, you're dating me.
Yeah.
So I get mad at the shit, so don't do it. Now, if you got a problem with it, then it's up to you to tell me what you have a problem with, and I don't do that. But don't try to expect me to respond like you if we're two different people. That would be like a love
I
language.
will say that I took the test and it was physical touch. Now that's true. You feel what I'm saying? But I like other stuff. I'm just playing. No, I got you. Like I don't know how valid it is, but I do like a physical
I
touch.
need to
But
take the test.
I don't need to be touched there. But
Hold on,
let
so
me do the
CJ,
touching.
CJ, you
So
read the book, The Five Love Languages?
No, I took a test.
You
It's
took
like
a
a test
test
you
on
can
this?
take.
there's an
Yeah.
assessment on it.
Yeah, we'll be back.
So I think that too, like the whole gift giving one gets like a bad rap, because like when I actually took the assessment, that was one of mine, right? But when I
Of
say give
course it
me a
was.
gift, like my ex was notorious for that, right? Like, I'm gonna buy you this purse so you can shut up.
I can't do nothing right.
But that doesn't suffice. So yes, he was giving me a gift, right?
Mhm.
But the absentness of the thought behind the gift made the gift not appealing to my love
So
language.
it's more than just
You
receiving. a gift.
cannot make this shit up.
No, I think it's real. As men, though, it's hard for us because we're like we went to go do it, but
Yeah.
but the way women receive it, I'll give you an example. So if I come home with a rose and some chocolate for my wife, she loves it, right? She's a magical moment, right? But let me tell you what she really loves. If she's teaching somewhere, and I come, while she's teaching, and I make this grand entrance, right? And I show the world my love. Women want the feeling of it all. They want the
Yeah, the
mood of it all.
romanticism behind it.
Yeah.
Jesus
Yeah.
is the strength of my life.
So it's bigger
He
than
moves
receiving
every day.
Because you could buy a purse. You hear about rappers all the time. Their baby mamas got cars, Birkins,
Oh my
everything in the
Not
world
if
that
it
you
comes from
could
DDs.
imagine.
I
And
want
they
to hear what
still go
podcast.
on social
Podcast.
media and Twitter and bash their rapper baby daddy.
I mean,
But
but you
he's
know, but you got a lot of simps that I mean, they love languages most definitely act of kindness, because a lot of simps be around here
Facts.
buying everything to get some. And
Oh
9
my
times out
God.
of 10, I mean, I'm just being honest. You got a lot of men out here just buying their way to some coochie. Like they use act of kindness like it's a golden
Yes.
ticket.
They're called husbands.
I'm
No, they not.
I'm not
Kurt,
sure. I'm not
What
sure.
the fuck are we talking about? Oh my God,
Yeah,
man.
I'm not sure that's relevant to 5 love languages,
I
but
can't
Nigga
take
said husbands.
so I
No
will say though.
husbands.
yeah.
Okay, so when I
literally
was in
bad
the
language in
military,
the box.
when I was in the military, we had marriage retreats, right? Because I was a chaplain assistant when I was in the military. And we had these strong bonds retreats, right? Where couples come back from post deployment and we have the man and the woman go in separate rooms and we would have them take the 5 love languages quiz, right?
Husbands.
And Gary Chapman, whatever his name is the guy who made up the quiz and everything like that. Most men's love language was physical touch, and most of the women's was words of affirmation. So they would have the chaplain, the pastor would have the men go into the room. Most of them were like, I feel silly as hell doing this. Write a love letter to their wife. I'm talking about some of these ladies were like in tears, right? Because they hadn't heard something nice from their husband in like 5 years or something crazy like that. And that's all they wanted. And then the men, they got to slow dance with the woman after that, because he wanted to rub up on, you know what I'm saying, like touch up on his woman, being that level of intimacy. So I think that it's like I think that couples period would benefit if they just had a simple conversation, even couples that are already established, because your love language can change. Hey, this is what makes me feel loved when you do this. And then it's up to your partner to want to like accommodate that. But I think that it's important.
You know what? I wanted to make fun of what you said. I'm not gonna the inner me wanted to make fun, but you spoke some facts, and I gotta agree with that. I think if more couples actually did what you said, because I ain't gonna lie, like my wife come in and start rubbing on my shoulders and on my head, it's over with. It's over with, right? And I realized as I get older that means something to me. It's a stress reliever, to be honest with you. And I think that's right if couples just talked about that. Anybody want to chime in on this?
That little shoulder rub be getting me though. I ain't even gonna lie. Like,
well, I'm gonna say this.
Where's the frame? Where's the frame?
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry about that, man. You're right, y'all. Right, go ahead, it's on you, bro.
Start melting and shit.
If it's gonna get me what I want, what I'm looking for, more ass, then I'm gonna do what I gotta do. If my wife is gonna sit there and tell me I need work out, baby, you looking real good in that apron. Man, I love the way you cook that.
But let's be honest here. Hold on, but let's
rub
be
my back and my shoulders after I got done cutting that yard.
Yes, sir.
Lawn man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, after I get out of the shower, she's gonna have my towel right there in my face, waiting on me to dry me off. I'm saying, don't need for the towel.
But let's be honest, though. Let's be realistic and let's be honest here. So let's take it back to the whole cutting grass, not cutting grass debate. It's a time thing. A busy ass man feels like I'm working hard. I'm showing you. I'm doing these things. Why do I need to come and tell you every 5 seconds? Or, you know what I mean? That's what some of the ladies were falling out about, because they're like, I got a haircut the other week and he didn't even notice that. I wouldn't have even thought that he was physically paying attention to me, because as relationships progress, the further you get into them, attraction fades.
He would have noticed if you would have gave him a little bit of special attention with that new hairdo. Is my mic working now?
Oh yeah, that mic working really well now, boy.
That mic was on point just now.
Hey, my mic sounds nice. Check one.
I'm gonna jump in real quick. No, I think what we all lose sight of is the maturity of relationships. And like you said, couples need to have this conversation. And I think the longer you've been together, the more you should, because first, men are too simple to understand love languages. You just heard the host of the show say, give him a sandwich, remote, shut up. And most of the men probably agree with that. Me, not so much. I need a little bit more. I need intellectual stimulation, among other things. When the brother heard you say buy him gifts, he immediately went to a Birkin bag, probably Testarossa or Tesla. But no, a gift could be a love note, could be a note on the bathroom mirror when it steam up in the bathroom. Whoa. And it's just, again, these little things that simple men don't sometimes think about because they too busy worrying about just getting boned. But again, like I said earlier in my other answer, is make us more attractive throughout the day, to make it easier for them to jump on you. You buying some boxes with her favorite cereal on there. Again, just a little bit of imagination and creativity. So when it's time for her to come get this cereal, she's like, damn, that is Frosted Flakes. And I like that. So let me jump on that. But again, when we perpetuate this notion that we so simple, but yet we sit in these boxes screaming about what we need, what we want. And like the lady said, you're just springing this on me in the middle of an argument. It's a surprise to me now that I should have been giving you the girlfriend experience. Well, what's the girlfriend experience? Oh, that's the small touches on
GFE.
My jokes and all of these things that they don't tell you because they so simple. So men, stop being simple. Stop ascribing to the simple narrative because you're not simple. You need more than just a damn sandwich and the remote. And you need to let her know that she needs to get you gifts. She needs to give you words of affirmation. She needs to know that you are more than just a tall person that could get the jar off the shelf, a strong arm that could open the jar, somebody that could take out the garbage and pump some gas. You more than that. And until y'all say y'all more than that, till y'all stand on that, y'all gonna be looked at as just that. But not me. I'm from the sty, and we are versatile. Holla.
That man know God.
Listen, I'm more than that. I'm more than that.
Just drop some bars, y'all.
I just want to say this really quickly.
Shout out to Miss Harris.
So
I cut everybody grass. My grass, your grass.
Pop your shit, Miss Harris. Pop your shit, baby.
So, I definitely
beside him.
I definitely appreciate the words that you just said on the he said side of the game. I thank you for speaking up for men in general and saying that we are more than just labor and that we have more expectations than just sex. But the thing that frustrates me and was really frustrating me the whole time while you were talking was the way the women were reacting to you, right? He would say something like, you know, sometimes you just got to pour your woman a bowl of cereal and they like, yes, woo, girl, yes, knowing damn well that shit don't mean nothing.
Hey, I can't express
Man, what is wrong with you, man? You wasn't getting
Talk
on
your
last
shit.
night.
Hate it.
Tell us how you really feel, man.
It, bro, when women do this, bro. When they sit there and they try to make it seem like all of these little things really matter to them.
Podcast is making a point.
They try to make it seem like
he ain't say nothing about fixing no bowl of cereal.
I know. That's why I said wait. That's why I said like. That's why I said like. That's why, like, you know, I'm a rapper, so that's why I interjected like.
You are
right.
You are.
That's why I said
You
he
are?
said something like.
Rapper.
Shout out to all the rappers that's not from Memphis.
What?
That's why I said like, right? He could say
So that's
like.
rappers from Kentucky.
You know, you could pour a woman a bowl of cereal, and then they all like, oh yes, oh yes, right?
The
And knowing doggone well that don't mean nothing to them.
I don't know who
So
broke them man
and
hard,
one,
man. You been husband in time.
even now, the fact that they can't stop talking proves my point. You see what I'm
you
saying?
commit treason.
No,
at the
ladies,
end of the
he's
day,
telling the truth, right?
At the end of the day,
doing
here's what
what,
happened,
Lucky?
right?
You
He
not.
had the one
Don't
sister.
agree. Don't agree with him.
He talked about how her man might go out and buy her a purse. We don't know how much he might have spent on the purse, right? But she light skinned, so I'm gonna just assume he spent at least $100 on the purse,
Why
right?
you keep
So,
light skin?
because that's what I
You
do.
like 'em.
So at the
wants
end
to
of
be
the
light-skinned.
and yet my woman blacker than me. But
Yeah,
this
you
is what
still
I'm
like
saying,
them,
right?
though.
He
So
wants to
at
be
the end of
light-skinned,
the
that's
day,
all.
right? What? Oh, he went out and he bought you this purse, but that ain't good enough because it didn't come with the words of affection. Well, here's the thing: if he would have gave you the purse and the words of affection, but the words of affection weren't written on a card that came from Hallmark, and you know they won't. You see what I'm saying now? Shaking their head and all this other shit.
Hey,
And we
podcast, I got one
literally,
for that.
hold
Podcast,
on, bro. I'm not gonna stop talking because I'm gonna be able to get through my point. Like I was quiet when Sir Hell went around the panel and everybody talked and I didn't say nothing, not one word. So I'm just gonna keep talking until I get my point out. So
it's feminine energy.
Podcast.
literally didn't say nothing. I can play it back if y'all want to
Yeah,
go.
hours
So
of
at the end of the
podcast.
day, what I'm saying is this: is that we know this about women. We know that it's never good enough. We know this, like we literally have lived with you all. We've lived with our mamas, our sisters. We've had relationships with our aunties and our cousins, and then we had girlfriends, baby mamas, wives, and all. We've been around y'all. We know nothing ain't good enough. What you want changes with the wind, and what you need is always being added to every year. That's the truth. That's why you single now, and that's why you looking that way.
Can I ask you
Because
something,
it's just
podcast?
the truth. So at the end of the day, it
Hey
don't
guys, let's
matter.
let podcast finish. We're gonna wrap up.
It don't matter if it's words of affection. It don't matter if it's gifts. It don't matter what it is. It's never going to be enough. It never is.
Now podcast. In fairness, in defense of the women, these wonderful women who never do that to their men. They've never done that. I know this. I know this for a fact. They're wonderful people. They're wonderful people. They're wonderful people. So I know they haven't done. So I think the thing is, give a woman what she wants if you talk about it up front, and then it's on her to appreciate his efforts. Because let me tell you something that I've seen. I've seen a woman ask a man for what she wants, he gives it to her. But here's the one thing why she couldn't receive it, because she didn't feel it. You didn't mean it. It's like, woman, what? I jumped through these hoops for you. You didn't feel it, right? So I think women, once they get what they want, show your appreciation for that man's effort and what you've got. And I think that's what most men are saying. That's why it never feels like it's enough, because even when we go do it, it's something about what we did that's not right. Does that make sense?
She doesn't like him for real. That's what that is. She doesn't like her man for real.
Right.
Damn, she just went
That's
for the
just being
jugular.
for real. She don't want him. If she
Damn.
don't appreciate it, she don't want him.
Well, I guess that means you ain't shit.
The show is ended, everybody. You guys have a great night. The show is pretty much over.
God damn.
I was just gonna ask the question.
You know,
Like,
Wow.
I was just gonna ask the question. The podcast. When you say they don't, when it's not enough, like, what do you mean by it's not enough? Not enough for what,
bro?
And I'm not saying
A
I
woman
disagree.
can
I
want
want
a
you to
house.
explain it.
She tired of an apartment. She want a house. You go out, you get a house. In a year or two, she's gonna want to modify the house. 2 years after that, she's gonna want to modify the house again. 2 years after that, she's gonna want a new house. It's never enough. They call it evolving, but it ain't really evolving because you're not evolving by the things that you put in your life. Evolving is when you evolve as a person. That's when you need less
So
things
men
in your
are
life.
insatiable too.
So what about isms? Okay, cool. We're doing what about
It's a
isms?
great
again.
word.
My bad.
Insatiable. It's a great
It's
word.
human nature to be insatiable.
No, it's really not. And that's the whole point. We literally talk about this all the time, how men don't leave relationships. We literally talk about how the number of, right now, they were just talking about how the number of single women purchasing homes is risen above single men purchasing homes because
So
we don't care.
in emotional aspects, men don't crave growth. But like you look at a man who's insatiable in his career. He's insatiable. That man, that gym freak that goes to the gym, literally.
Oh my God.
Like it's his
What is
job.
happening to me?
Men are insatiable about different things than women are biologically.
Are you telling me that that's the wait a minute? So that's most men? Time out, bro. Damn. So Indy, that's most men. Indy, that's most men. Yes or no?
Hold on, podcast. Let's keep it cool.
Oh my
She's actually
God,
asking
bro.
questions.
I'm not going no. I'm only frustrated because everybody is laughing and talking at the same time. Indy, is that most men? Yes or no?
Most men are insatiable in
Okay.
their
I
life.
just wanted a yes or no really quick. So why is it that most men? So why is it that the most black men only make 40K?
But didn't I just say that they're not insatiable when it comes to certain things? So he might be capped out in his career, but guess what? He's gonna figure out something else to conquer and to grow.
But this is what I'm
Men
saying.
are
This we're
conquerors. They're
talking about in
hunters.
general.
They're
Hold on,
always chasing something.
podcast. You gotta let her finish.
That's a bad answer.
No, it's actually not. It actually
It
does make
is.
sense.
Because we're not
Podcast.
bro. How can you talk? How can you take 20%
Podcast.
of men and compare that to
Podcast.
All right, you got it.
Come on, we got it. You got to listen and respond.
All that over talking they did to me. Now I got to be nice. I
Yes.
got you.
Oh Lord, he acting like a little girl.
No.
It's okay.
Andrea, no, he's not. No, we having a conversation. It's getting late. I wanted to hear your point though, because I think it's a good one. That typically we do crave and we want more things, particularly as we get older. Like now that I'm 35 years old, I didn't always want to touch. I don't leave me alone. It's hot. It's hot. Don't touch. Right now that I'm 35, I can't get enough of it. So I do think that evolves as you get older. Would you guys agree to that, or would you guys disagree?
No,
you
it
just
does.
described that wanting more sex, right?
Don't objectify me, podcast.
Okay, so here's the point. Hold on.
Disrespectful.
So here's the point, Sir Hill. So let me ask you this: does that mean you go out and get more women?
No. I have one more.
Exactly. That's my point. So what I'm saying is you're comfortable with the woman you have. You might want more sex, but you're cool with the woman that you have. What I'm saying is women always want to replace things. That purse ain't good enough. I need another purse and another purse and another purse. Them shoes ain't good enough. I need more shoes. What I'm saying is the average dude is not like that. People in general, the average man is not like that. The average man, it's a reason why they only make 40K, because they cool with having a job. It's a reason why they not buying houses in mass, because they cool with having a little apartment. They not caring about all that extra stuff.
Can I levy back off what he said? That goes to the question I was going to ask the ladies. Is there, with these 5 love languages and all that kind of stuff, because Miss Harris did say, if he buys me a purse or something like that, I might not be. that might be her love language, but the way he gave it to her, it wasn't satisfactory, right? So
Thank you.
is there a middle ground? Because I do think podcasts have a point when he says men, I think he's trying to say men are more content in most
That's a fact.
situations when it
I think
comes
it's true.
to their state of being and what you're going to get for them. Men are more content creatures. But is there a middle ground with women when it comes to these love languages? Because women can have a guy chasing his tail, you know what I'm saying? Like, he thought that he satisfied you with this. Okay, it's something else. Then it's something
But they
else.
could,
Then it's something
she don't
else.
want him. Freeze it. That's what I'm about to say. It could be to the guy she don't
But
want.
I just wanna. I'm gonna try to hang out because I get everything that's being said, because there is something where women in general they're never satisfied, right? But let's not act like I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna do that to y'all. Do y'all not know the difference between a woman that's into you and a woman that just wants you for the things you could do for her? A woman that's into you, little shit like a text message, I'm thinking about that shit makes her already ready to bust it open. If you jump into hurdles, it's the same thing they say all the time on Cruise Season, and all of y'all watch Cruise Season. She has different expectations
Not true.
for the man she wants to be with and the man she like versus the dude that likes her more. This is why if you're with a woman that is into you, those things are not going to go unnoticed, whether it's something as small as me thinking about bringing something in that she normally does, washing her car, where she ain't got to think about it. Something is small, right? You don't have to get her a Birkin, but a woman who only is never satisfied and she's looking at things you can do for her, then yeah, she's never satisfied. You're gonna always be doing things. But if she's into you and y'all we're talking about a committed relationship, then yeah, she's going to be that type of man that she's into. It's not going to be a certain thing where you're getting these little gestures and she's saying, okay, I want this. That ain't enough. Oh, I want this. Yeah, she okay with naked Melvin in her kitchen cooking eggs. We don't care if it's just eggs. It's him that I like that's doing it. Like, I don't know why y'all acting like y'all can't tell the difference. Same way how y'all say women sound when we're saying different men. Y'all be like, damn, but what was he doing before that? It's the same thing. You have the girl. You have a lot of women where if you do certain gestures and she into her man, she's happy. It ain't just all women or we just know women. It's like an absolute, and that's not the case. I get what you're saying, but that's not the case in what she's saying. That's like unfair.
Excellent. Hold on, guys. I'm tired. So we're gonna do final thoughts on this topic because there's been a lot we covered. I'm gonna give podcast the first word and maybe a last one, depending on this lady that's up here. I'm a little disturbed. Podcast, let's give your final thoughts, man. Call out the channel as well.
What is that, a self-portrait? What is that?
My name is below average, and I was on Kevin Samuel's show, and I told him, "What am I supposed to settle for? A regular dude?" Like, she said that. So this whole narrative, if she really likes you, what the F does that even really mean? At the end of the day, what the women just basically admitted that our women are running around dating men that they don't like and being in long-term relationships with men that they don't like, which means they're obviously mistreating those men, because that is what women do to men when they don't like them. They mistreat them. So stop trying to make it seem like it's something about the man. Everybody knows that people put their Sunday best on when they first meet you. Everybody does that. They act like they so nice and sweet and innocent when they first meet you. And then after they get really comfortable with you, that's when they let their hair down and start showing you all of the ugly sides to them, right? So at the end of the day, what typically happens with a lot of women is that they get with you and they have these expectations of you. They think they better than you. Most of these women out here think they're better than the men that they deal with. Think they deserve more than the men that they deal with. They don't really believe that they qualify for whatever it is that they get. It's something wrong with him, not her. I could have a better man. I'm just choosing not to have one, right? So we got to stop pretending like this is why I was trying to, like, I wasn't defending the guy earlier. I was really defending the narrative. Like, try to stop.
I said we're not going to bring Zachary back up.
I'm not bringing him back up. That's why I said I wasn't defending him. I'm defending the narrative. This narrative that is always something wrong with the men and ain't nothing wrong with the woman, and she was doing everything right. And even when she says she wasn't doing everything right, whatever the dude was doing or wasn't doing is just somehow 10 times worse. Get the F out of here with that BS. When it's women out here that look like that with multiple kids in the situation trying to tell somebody she don't want nobody regular. Man, please. My name is Lil Podcast. They call me Beans. My channel is I Seen Your Little Podcast. And I'm running for president of the United States of America. You heard?
President Mace Gilliam. That podcast, listen, I'm not going to let you disrespect that woman. You know she's a 10. Man of Prestige, what's your final thoughts? What's your final thoughts? What's your final thoughts on the show, bro?
Y'all fucked up.
All right, man. You know, I have to agree with Lucky on this one. Maybe she's just not that into you. If I have to overwork my brain, I'm just going to conclude that she's just not into it. And that's fine. That's okay. You know, the more time you spend with the wrong people, the more time you spend away from the right people. Give yourself a pass. Don't kill yourself. Drink some water. Take a shower. Get some nice drink every now and then. Take care of yourself. And leave some room for the right people to come into your life.
Take care of yourself with some wine. What?
Listen, bro. If I have to overwork my brain, right? It's just not worth it, man. You're missing out on life. You're missing out on love. That's what I have to say about this topic. You know, shout out to everyone again. Good to see you all again.
Wait a minute.
Man of prestige everywhere. YouTube, Facebook. You know, so we're talking over there. Shout out to Sir Hill as usual.
My brother, appreciate it. Just so you know, so Indy, Tandria, any little thing that you give us to go off of and make a joke out of, we're gonna use. So just try not to give us nothing. But final words for you. Thanks for being on the show tonight. We're so glad that you're here.
Oh, I need you to still run that tape back for that $100 because he swear he got it, but I think
Black
I
folks
think he still
can't
don't know.
ever just do us asked. Tiandra, what's your final thoughts on the show, and then call out your channel as well?
I really don't have. I mean, the only thing I gotta say is every woman is not the same. You know, Mr. Podcast, he was in his feelings, but you know, he been in love 6 times, so you know he hurt. He's scarred. You know, ain't nothing wrong with that being scarred. He's scarred for life. He don't know if he coming or going, but it's all right. I hope he get the help that he need. But y'all just hit me up, Mommy 3 Love on IG, TikTok, and I also have Feel This Shit podcast on Spotify and Apple.
All right, no captivity to Freezy. Let's get you your final thoughts. Podcast, we'll respond in the back chat. Freezy, so you man, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me, man. Oh, you know, I'm gonna look more into these love languages, and I think I'm gonna take the test. CJ just motivated me, so I'm gonna take the test to see where I fall in. He said, "No, don't do it." I'm gonna take the test. But one thing I did learn is that things work better when you have incentives, especially in your household. Me, you know, like, you know, okay, I pay someone to cut my grass, but I have learned it's good if you can do something in your, you know, that's in your control and that you don't need somebody to come in your house to do, you know, intimately. Like, you know, like I just changed my damn faucet sink. I did a little plumbing work, right? I never did that before, but I did it. After I did that, you know, my wife said, "Ooh, that just turned me on." You know what that made me feel? Like? I need to buy another faucet and change it again just for the hell of it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
right.
I think that, you know, when we have relationships and stuff, incentives should be also implemented in a relationship just to let the other person know you appreciate it. I think that's you know, to me, that's my takeaway. And that's what I'm gonna give to y'all. And thank you, Sir Harold. My channel is No Captivity with Freezy, and I talk just like this on my podcast. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Andy, thanks for being here tonight. We're glad that you're here.
Y'all petty as fuck.
Let's get your final thoughts, and I call out your channel as well.
I have no channel, but my social media is simply Indy. one.
Simply Indy. Okay.
Simply underscore ND1. If you're ever in Dallas, hit your girl up. But yeah, I mean, the takeaway from this is the same thing that I guess I kind of always have when it comes to the like division in our culture, American culture, of like the division in the household of like gender roles or what a man should be and shouldn't be doing or what a woman should or shouldn't be doing. Date who you like. Date who you like. Marry who you like. Because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that's going to keep you going in it, is actually being with somebody that you enjoy spending your time with. It's just like a job that you hate. Like, you're not going to want to go to that job. So they tell you find your purpose, because then it'll never feel like you're working a day in your life. Find your person. And men definitely start setting higher standards for women. Find out your love language, explain that to people. And if you're already in a relationship, date your person, like redate them. And don't try to change them, just relearn them. That's it.
Excellent. All right, so CJ, I want you to get in touch with your feminine side and learn your 5 love languages. In the meantime, let's get Lucky's final thoughts. Lucky, what's your perspective on this? And please call out your channel as well.
Y'all horrible people.
My thoughts are the same thing. Whatever your expectations are, make sure that they match up with your offering. You can't really expect like Mercedes-Benz quality if you are Buick. So I think that in general, I think it should match up with what you're offering, as well as I don't think it's healthy to put unrealistic expectations on people that you know cannot meet it. So I would say, just be realistic with yourself and the things that you're asking, and also don't downplay yourself. If you know you're a giver and those are the things that you require, then you should be upfront with that. If you know that you're a good person, I don't think you should get in a relationship where somebody tries to downplay you to make you feel like you're less than, so you back out here thinking you have to find yourself. So I think just overall tonight, I'm gonna wrap it up with saying that you should basically be requiring out of people what you are. And I think that it's not a bad thing if you want people to be better, but they also have to want themselves to be better. So that's my thought. And my channel is Lucky Marie. That's it.
Excellent. Appreciate you. Mr. and Mrs. She said, listen, with another one. Appreciate you. What's your final thoughts? And please call out your channels as well.
Oh man, my Mrs. She Said, and I have my own channel. It's my man right here, Mr. He Said. And together we are He Said, She Said, Love and Abundance, that we share every Thursday. I think we all need a little reprogramming. I was raised with treat people how you want to be treated. And, I don't think that's right, because some people may not want to be treated how I want to be treated. I have to figure out, or they have to make me aware of how they would like to be treated. And it's up to me to decide if that's something I'm willing to do. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at with that.
Thank you for having us. Always a pleasure being here. Nice meeting everybody that was on the panel. Mommy Love 3 and Miss Harris. Great sharing the panel with y'all, and the brother up top as well. Great sharing the panel. Can't wait to have y'all back and have another conversation. I'm gonna leave y'all with something that was told to me when I was a young man. If a man is doing the same thing in the 90s that he's doing in the 2000s, that he's doing in the 2010s, and how it was put is, if you're doing the same thing for 20 years, you're wasting 20 years of your life. So I think change is a constant. I think it's something that we need to be conscious of. And, as long as we are, I think we'll be striving to be better people every day. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Mr. and Mrs. She Said, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. CJ, man, listen, we had a good conversation tonight. You talked about the 5 love languages, and
Don't do it.
Let's go ahead and get your final thoughts tonight, and let's call out your channel as well.
I can't stand your ass, bro. Look, man, I'm a CJ 100 or the 5100. Wait, yeah, 5100 podcast, man. We go live Every Saturday, we're going to change the time to 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time to work with my guys. Make sure we don't run over the top of each other. You feel me? That's what we do around here. But as far as this conversation goes, I just think brothers, I'm just going to speak to the brothers, bro. I just think brothers need to be more focused on what they're doing in their life as far as their purpose. And I know people want to talk about talking points like a man having a purpose ain't a real thing. A man having a purpose is a real thing. Nothing should come before your purpose. That's my message. And then when it comes to having a woman, she needs to fit it to what you do. I mean, it's pretty much that simple for me. I'm not trying to change no woman. I'm not trying to get all her measurements and figure out if she can fit into my life like that and shit. Like, I'm just keeping it G with you, man. It don't take that much, bro. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to a wife, when it comes to a woman you want to court, be with, whatever, pay attention. I always say listen. Really listen and pay attention to what she do. When you meet her, get to know her family. She got her father, go through her father for your relationship. I would advise that. I've done that once. It didn't work, but it worked better than most relationships I've been in. So that's all I got, bro.
Appreciate you, brother Hink. Thanks for coming up here. I really appreciate it. I had a few people to cancel last minute today, so thanks for jumping in and open up the restaurant for just a bit for us to have this conversation. What's your final thoughts on tonight's topic? And also, please call out your channel.
Oh man, my channel is gonna be called The Basement. It's gonna be coming soon. But I'm also, you can see me on LaPifin on Sundays, 10 a.m. Central, as well as you can follow me on Instagram at Hink75. So, but my final thoughts is the one I have for all the men all the time is, man, black men, please protect yourself at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Do what you have to do. That means you need to get on somebody's couch or in somebody's Zoom meet to get you some therapy. Do it. Get your blood work done. Get your heart rate checked. Make sure your A1C is all the way in order. You know what I'm saying? Go get your colonoscopy. Go get your prostate checked. Heart disease and diabetes is the biggest killer amongst black men. So if we want to be around here long enough to conquer the world, you got to do right by your health as well as your mental.
That was it?
That's it, big brother. That's all
Excellent.
I got.
Appreciate you, man. Yeah, show some love to Hink and to all of the guests. It's been another great show. Thank you guys for joining. Guys, it's simple. If you're going to be with somebody, it's two things. You can't force anybody to change. But if you're going to be with somebody, do what it takes to be with the person you say you love, because relationships are not easy and they require both people to put the work in and to do what it takes to make that relationship work. So if you're not willing to give 100%, leave that person alone so that they can find somebody who's willing to give them what they need. And with that, guys, it's been a great show. Shout out to the moderators. Shout out to the subscribers, to all the members, to all of the chat. We appreciate you. Much love. Until next time, we'll talk with you guys again soon. And another one. Peace. May I have your attention? May I please have your attention? Super Sundays. Yeah, baby. We're back at it again. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Let's get it. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Sir Hill Speaks Super Sundays. I'm glad that you're here. I wanted to take a moment to tell you guys how much I appreciate you. We've been doing these shows for months now, and you guys have been showing up consistently as we take on and we tackle different challenges and different topics. So I appreciate it. But here's what we're trying to do going forward. We want to grow this audience to people who need to hear content like this. And so we need your help. How can you help us? That's a fantastic question. Be sure to make sure you hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe and make sure you hit that notification bell for all of the content that we have, particularly Super Sundays. All right, guys, sit back, relax, enjoy. Make sure you invite somebody to Sir Hill Speak Super Sundays. We're getting ready to go in. We're going to have a good time. Happy Sunday, everybody. Let's get to the show.